a shot at it, and you see how excited he is. His last visit to Dakota Field was one he'd like to forget. 2 years ago, Roger's father died the morning of the game, and the Sioux lost to the Bison 21-0. And Ed, no one can accuse us of being homers today. I'm picking the Bison, you're picking the Sioux.
We have to change jobs. We might have to change towns. No, I just think that the Sioux have been very strong in several areas this year where the Bison have been vulnerable. And I really think that what North Dakota's got to do and is going to have to display a great deal of patience. If they do fall behind, don't start throwing the ball all over the place. You know, Shannon Burnell has got to have his carries today. He's been the formula, and they're going to have to show some patience because the Sioux have not been a fast-starting football team this year. They're very methodical. They like to pound on you. It takes time for that counter tray and that bounce play to get rolling.
Ball control will be a key in this one. You see the seniors for the Sioux dressed in white playing their final regular season game, going out for the coin toss. Let's pick it up down on the field.
Introduce yourselves, please. All right, let a little guy get in here, huh? Who's going to call it? We've got a head and a tail. I'll catch it and turn it over. Head. Oh, call the head. Guys that came up heads. North Dakota's won the toss. Kick, receive, or defend the goal.
I'll take the ball.
You take the ball right now. What goal would you like to defend?
That in.
All right, let's turn it.
Well, they set a coin flip. UND is going to get the first snaps of this football game, and I think Roger Thomas feels really good about that because field position is going to play a big part in this game. What the Bison are thinking, Pat, if they can get a 3 down and out situation and get the Sioux to punt early and get some field position, they'll go right to work to the air game.
And what a key that has been for NDSU. Most of the big plays coming through the air.
I don't know how much more motivation either one of these teams needs. I mean, you couldn't have written a tougher scenario for the Sioux to overcome, and you get the feeling in their camp that they got the Bison right where they want them, at their place for all the marbles.
Sioux have only lost one road game all year, and that was their only loss of the year at Mankato State. The Bison did lose at home this year, first game of the year to Grand Valley State. T.R. McDonald will kick it off for the Bison, who will be moving from right to left on your screen. 31 degrees the official temperature at game time, south wind at 18 on a cloudy day. We were hoping the sun would peep out today. But these conditions are heaven compared to some of the other conditions we've had for this game. Everybody on their feet for the kickoff as Jared Watson goes back deep to receive the kick for the Sioux. A piece of the NCC title, at least to the winner. A playoff spot to the winner. It's a short kick coming down at the 20-yard line, and it's Watson moving into the pile across the 30 and struggling up to about the 33. The starting backfield for the Sioux, Corey Walsh, Shannon Burnell, and Ross Almley out of Mayport. As Neville Scarlett broke his leg last week, that could be a big factor today, but Ross has played well. Watson, Jelinski, and Schumacher, the receivers for the Sioux. And where's the beef? It's on the offensive line for UND. Bill Revere and Jason Childs at 260 plus leading the way on a veteran line. And there doesn't figure to be much of an intimidation factor this year because a lot of the Sioux players have played here a couple of years ago. 1st and 10 at the 33, first play from scrimmage as Tim Jelinski goes in motion. Wall hands off to Burnell. We'll see this a lot today. The Bison defense, Brian Sweeney, I won't have trouble with his name, Sean Stewart of Halleck, and Jeff Hagman up front. Wash, Greenwood, Hartwig, and Monty, the linebackers. And the D-backs, Adams, Pringle, Hagerly, and Marion. Pringle a Grand Forks product from Central High School. 2nd and 5. Wall will throw. He's got Watson at the 45-yard line. Out of bounds he goes. First down for the Sioux.
Real interesting call by Rob Bollinger, the offensive coordinator. Keeping the Bison off balance all afternoon is going to be a big key. And there you see where Burnell becomes a threat. If you don't give it to him, you at least fake to him. The Bison have got to respect that.
So with the ball at the 47. It's 1st and 10 with 14:18 remaining in the opening quarter. Shannon Burnell, no room there as Brian Sweeney wraps him up.
Sweeney's been bothered with a shoulder injury most of the season. The Bison very concerned about his performance today. He has got to show up big, and for him to make a play like that early has got to help his confidence.
A loss of 2 on the play makes it 2nd and 12 at the 45. Now North Dakota sends Watson wide left with Jelinski to the left as well. The handoff to Burnell. He's got some room. He's across midfield down to the 41 of the Bison.
Pat, we said all week long that first down is a big key. If the Bison can hold the Sioux on first down, they can gamble, and they do right here. They come with a blitz, and Burnell, who is so dangerous in the way he reads the blocking of that offensive line, he goes to the soft spot. And the great thing about this kid, he's north and south. He does not run side to side very often. He gets positive yards.
Burnell last week broke the UND single season rushing record previously held by Bill Deutsch. So it's 1st and 10 at the 40. Wall scrambles now. He'll keep it. Picks up about 6. Oh, and flags on the play. Sweeney was in on the stop along with Yagi.
This is not uncommon for the Bison defense to get themselves in a jam with plays like this. Bob Meslow, a veteran official of the North Central Conference. You know, Corey Wall is kind of the unsung hero in this outfit. You know, this kid isn't bad. He was a big recruit for the Sioux out of Jamestown. He's a winner. He comes from a real athletic family. And there he is. He says, hey, I'm not going to beat all these guys. Just let me get a few yards to keep the drive alive. That's a smart play by Wall.
Wall making his first start in this game, but he did see action in last year's Sioux Bison game, mopping up for Todd Kovash. 1st and 10 at the 28. It's Ross Almley with some room. Past the 20.
That's just a quick trap right up the middle. And you'll see Bill Revere, the center for North Dakota, getting the best of the nose guard, Stewart. See him cut back against the grain there? That's a quick trap right up the middle. You double team the nose guard, slip off on the linebacker, and he'll follow that right into the hole. I tell you, this is a tremendous drive for the Sioux. This is what they wanted to do early, establish a line of scrimmage, and they're doing it.
And Ross Almley paying some unexpected dividends early on. Another first down at the 17. Burnell struggles to the line of scrimmage and picks up a few. Burnell has run for more than 100 yards in every game this year. Sioux haven't had a ground game this potent since Milson Jones was leading the attack.
And that was more of an option game. This is the first time since the Bill Deutsch days that the Sioux have really been, we're going to smash you right in the mouth type football. They run right at people now.
NDSU has given up only 1 touchdown all season in the opening quarter of play. Here is a 2nd and 8 at the 15. Wall looking, keeping, has room. Wall, touchdown.
Just a moment ago, I told you that this kid can hurt you. You don't have to be a great athlete in this offense. You just got to know what you're doing. This is a disciplined quarterback. Don't throw it away in a crowd and ruin the drive. Just take a few. He's in.
Darcy Dahlem is in to try the PAT, and it's good. The Sioux lead 7-0 with 11:26 remaining in the first quarter. We'll return with more after this.
From slabs for garbage cans to paved farmyards to tilt-up walls for buildings, concrete gives durability, good appearance, and long-time economy that no other building material can offer. Call your local FM Ready Mix plant. They've got the experience, equipment, and staff to supply you with the quality concrete for a truly professional job, a standard you can depend on. Residential, commercial, rural. When it comes to concrete, FM Ready Mix is all you need to know.
Being the best, that means many different things to different people. But here at Selling Pontiac GMC, being the best means more than just selling you a car. It means exceptional customer service and attention to every detail. Being the best, yes, it means winning Pontiac's prestigious Masters Award and GMC Truck's 5-Star Award. But it also means when you're dealing with Selling Pontiac GMC, you're dealing with a dealership that works.
Here's Corey Wall again playing a very heads-up game in the early going.
Fellas, run that back just for a second. Watch Rob Greenwood, number 39, the linebacker for the Bison. See how he hangs in there? You got to respect the fake to Burnell. And now Greenwood's thinking, okay, pass coverage. He's out of there, and he goes to the curl, and then that's where Wall sees him going. Hey, that's a disciplined drive by the Sioux. They earned it.
Let's go down to the field and Dana Mock.
Well, fellas, you want to talk about an energized sideline. It is the south side of Dakota Field. The UND players feeling some confidence. And as Roger Thomas mentioned in pregame, they have not been a fast-starting team. This is exactly what the Sioux wanted, building confidence and maybe planting a seed of doubt in that Bison defensive unit, saying, you know, we've run into big offensive lines before and great running backs, but we didn't stop it against Grand Valley or Northern Colorado. Maybe we can't stop the Sioux either. Let's go back upstairs to you guys.
Well, Pat, I've been watching your football show with Roger for most of the season, and this is the second time I've seen the Sioux in person. We did the Morehead State UND football game, which the Sioux won, and now I see them in this first drive. This is undoubtedly the best football team UND has had since the Gene Murphy days. I mean, this is a team that has shown tremendous poise at somebody else's place. You know, the Bison have only lost 3 games in something like 76 games here at Dakota Field. And what a great start.
And scoring points is important for the Sioux. That was the first offensive touchdown they've scored in Fargo since 1981.
I can't remember the last time the Sioux were ahead in this series.
It's been a long, long time. The kick comes down to Kyle Carlson. Up to the 27-28-yard line, and the Bison will go on offense with Arden Beachy leading the attack. Hanson, Gunning, Erickson, and Sanchez rotating in the backfield. Guerin and McDonald, Cahill and Ski, the receivers, seeing a lot of action this year. And the offensive line, centered by Mike Smith. Bison trailing 7-0. Beachy hands to the first man, Mark Hansen. And the Bison pick up a couple of yards on their first play from scrimmage. A lot of juniors on the Sioux defense. 10 to be precise. Hansen is from Lisbon down here in Bison country. Tater, Kohler, Ewan, and Middlestad doing a fabulous job replacing Dean Witkowski. Holder, O'Gorman, Feltheim, and Perkins, the defensive backfield. And look at that, 10 juniors on the Sioux defense. Pretty balanced on the Bison offense. 2nd and 8 at the 29. Beachy will keep it. He's got a hole. Beachy pitches. Look out. Pete Erickson out of bounds.
They say he stepped out of bounds at the 46-yard line. But you'll see in this replay, and Pat has said in the pregame show, the Sioux have got to take Arden Beachy out of the ball game. In other words, play the quarterback, make the running back beat you. That's a great fake. Nice block by Guerin. They're in the alley. Now that really puts the defensive back O'Gorman in an untenable position. And that might have been a forward pitch, but the Bison have got the right idea. And the Sioux are going to really have to mix up their defensive responsibilities to keep the Bison off balance. Hey, we might have 50 points per team here today.
It could be. Pete Erickson, they say he stepped out at the Sioux 47. Hansen in motion. Beachy hands to Erickson, who scrambles across for a few.
Now that was a cutback play. The Bison have not run a whole lot of that this year. That's the old 44 and 45 zone where you hit the right tackle and pretty much like what the Sioux like to do, block everybody to one side and the guy cuts it back. Just a different formation that they run it out of. Rocky Hager feels like that play has got to be successful today.
2nd down and 5 now at the 42.
See, now you see the two outside linebackers for UND. They'll play one weak and one strong, so they'll have the same guy on the tight end all the time.
Beachy on the pitch to Hansen, trying to turn the corner, and he's tripped up by Jeff Feldheim. Or is that Jeff Perkins, number 23?
No, I think that's Feldheim in there. Well, Feldheim, the free safety, of course, is going to have to be filling the alley to the wide side of the field. Here's a pretty good play by the nose guard. Even though he's getting buried right there, he's taken out most of the offensive line with his penetration. Feldheim, 21, play in position. Don't let him cut back against the grain. That's what he's thinking on that.
And that brings up a 3rd and 1.
Two tight ends for the Bison.
Beachy hands to... No, he faked the handoff to Erickson, and he gets the 1st down.
That's Beachy on the load play, and Gunning went the wrong way. Or is that Erickson going the wrong way? And boy, he almost pitched that to an empty field. Nice play by Arden that time.
Well, the Bison do get the 1st down at the 35.
Leo Ringy, defensive coordinator of the Bison, said on the tube last night with us, he says, hey, it's going to be a white knuckler, whoever has the ball last. I believe him. Don't you, Bry?
Brian Walls bringing you the pictures from high atop the press box here. As the Sioux had that one read.
You know, that middle stat, 6'2", 250 out of Maryville. And I'll tell you what, Mayville, and this guy is a player. There's a nice spin by Erickson, but good tackling and good pursuit by the Sioux defense. You got to get a lot of people to the football and lock up.
And we should point out, in case you're wondering, middle stat is from Mayville, Wisconsin, not Mayville, North Dakota. 2nd and 10 now. 8:18 remaining in the opening quarter. 7-0. Sioux lead it. Beachy will pitch to Kurt Gunning.
Wow.
Sean Hansen of Lisbon is there. Mark Ewan.
Well, that's one thing. Now look at that. They're talking back and forth at one another. Let's develop this point. There's been a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties called in the North Central Conference this year, and this is going to be brought up this weekend at the conference meetings. We'll develop that point a little bit later.
3rd and 6 with the ball at the 30. Beachy with a pitch, loose football. Erickson gobbles it up. Out of bounds at the 25. Oh, the Bison get a break here.
Well, when you're a defensive coordinator and you see something like that happen, you think you wish you'd gone to church an extra day. This is sheer luck, and Arden, great penetration that time by the Sioux linebacker. Gunderson, the defensive lineman, junior out of Bismarck, he forced Arden Beachy to make a bad pitch, an ill-advised pitch, actually. Bison dodged a bullet on that one.
And they get a 1st down out of it at the 23. Sean Cahill in motion. This time it's a pitch back to Hansen, and he gets out of bounds inside the 20. Bison continuing to move that ball.
Look at that. 472 yards rushing this year. It has been, Pat, really a different mix for the Bison on the ground this year. They don't have any running backs outside Arden Beachy near 1,000 yards. Very unusual. They've had to throw the football to score big points this year. And Beachy's yet to throw one.
2nd and 4 now at the 17. It's Erickson. Not much there. Jeff Tater, number 31, who missed this game last year because he came down with chicken pox. Just a 1-yard pickup for the Bison. Hansen comes back into the game.
Keep in mind, this is 4-down territory. Rocky Hager this year inside the 50 is going for it on as much as 4th and 5.
Now the Bison have a player coming in late. That's Erickson.
They're going to have...
Now they're set.
Blitz.
Beachy keeping. Touchdown, North Dakota State.
The Bison used this formation last week against Morningside for the first time this year. It's an inverted bone, and the Sioux, you might have seen them jump a little bit just before the snap of the ball to adjust to the strong side. But I don't think they had their responsibilities down when the ball was snapped, and the Bison might have caught them off guard that time.
Ludwig Milfers will attempt the point after with 6:11 to go. And the Bison have tied it up at 7.
Here it is. This is the old wishbone triple option. They do a great job of tying up Middlestad on the outside. Strong safety takes the pitch man. The free safety, I don't know where he is. There must have been a mix-up on responsibility on the quarterback. Arden reads it. We're tied at 7.
So the quarterbacks exchange touchdown runs, and it's 7 up. We'll be back.
H.E. Everson Auto Parts and Welding Supply is far from child's play. We've been delivering quality auto parts and welding supplies for over 65 years in Minnesota and North Dakota. Our 17 stores gives us the buying power you should expect from your auto parts store. Your locally owned H.E. Everson Auto Parts and Welding Supply. The house service is building. There's an H.E. Everson Auto Parts and Welding Supply store near you.
What does it take to make the perfect window? Start with a solid wood core for stability and insulation value. Cover it with vinyl so it's virtually maintenance-free. Add high-performance insulating glass to save energy. Then make them easy to operate. And of course, beautiful. Then they'd be perfect. Of course, then they'd be Anderson Permashield windows.
Fargo Sash and Door, your Anderson Window Retail Window Center, 210 North 11th Street.
How tight is it? Well, number 1 and number 2 in scoring defense, number 1 and number 3 in total offense. We said it was a coin flip, and right now we're all even at 7. Just 6:11 left in the opening quarter.
Well, we found out early that both teams can move the football, can hang on to the football, and score points. So the tone has been set. Whoever plays some kind of defense today is going to win this football game.
T.R. McDonald to kick it off. Squibber coming to Tom Haggart. And Haggart might go. He had the hole. And he's up across the 45. The sophomore from Wilmer, we saw him, if you were with us in that Moorhead State game early in the year, have some good kick return.
Corey Wall. Now, you might say, gosh, 7 interceptions. Hey, that's not bad. If you've got an equal number of touchdown passes to interceptions, you got to consider that a pretty good year, because a lot of times interceptions will come late in the ball game or late towards the end of the first half when you're trying to get something big.
Wall directed an 8-play, 67-yard scoring drive. Beachy an 11-play, 73-yard scoring drive.
There's your counter tray.
And it's none other than Shannon Burnell.
The outside linebackers for the Bison have got to come up big today. When they pull those two big linemen all the way over to the other side like we diagrammed in the pregame show, it's just a tough scheme to stop. It's like a 2-on-1 on the outside linebacker. And I think this kid was really overlooked by a lot of teams out of high school.
Well, he played on a losing Duluth East program. He got some attention, but he just wanted to get away from home to the benefit of UND. Burnell needs 161 yards to break that record you saw there by Harry Jackson. Here he is again. Past the 40.
You know, that's a tough defensive call for the Bison. There it is, 2nd down and 5. You know, 2nd down and 5 against a great running back like this, you can't gamble because you'll end up giving up the big play. You just got to sit in there and slug it out with them. So yards on 1st down, like offensive line coach Jeff Tesh said in the pregame show, yards on 1st down for the Sioux, the critical statistic today on the offensive side of the football.
It is 1st and 10 at the 38. That's Jelinski from Wyndmere, North Dakota, in motion.
Offside Bison.
Only with the carry, but plenty of flags flying.
You know, that really is a smart move by the Sioux offensive coaches. You got the ball moving. On 1st down, go on a late count. Make them jump because you don't want them jumping all the time because you want that counter trade, that counter play, and that bounce play to work well for you. And if you can keep that defensive line being a little bit hesitant during the game, you can angle your offensive linemen off and get good position on their blocks. So I'll tell you, the Sioux well schooled up coming into today's ball game.
The penalty moves the ball to the Bison 33. And this could be a ping pong match the way this one has started off. 5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter, 7-7. It's Shannon Burnell leaping over a defender, still on his feet. A flag on the play, behind the play.
Might be a hold against the Sioux. You know, when you run that bounce play like that, it is a hold against UND. When you run that bounce play like that, you're stretching your offensive and defensive tackles on the play side. See, look at, back it up. Watch 73. See, he's trying to hang on to Sweeney. Sweeney's got an out stunt. They also cut Sean Stewart. And, oh, back it up again. There's your hold, fellas. Right there. It looks like there it is.
Ron
those two guys right there. Johnson really turning and hold him up, but boy, that's really close. I don't know.
And that moves it all the way back to the 43.
The thing that makes it so hard for an official to call that, and there's such a gray area, is because they've changed the rules in college football. The offensive lineman can extend his arms all the way, and if you get it on his shoulder, it looks like a hold. So they got to really see the grab.
2 wide receivers left for the Sioux. The fake to Burnell.
Got a man wide open.
Intercepted by Eric Hegerly, the free safety. And Hegerly is finally stopped by Tom Landseeder. What a break for NDSU.
Corey Wall just overshot his first receiver and underthrew the deep one. He's got a man short and he's got a man deep. And I really don't think he made up his mind where he wanted to go with the football. He's got the tight end coming underneath. He overthrows him. And then behind Haggerty, 16, you got a deep man. See him down the bottom of the screen? I think he really wanted to go to Tom Haggart. Oh, I know Corey Wall would love to have that one back. He had people open.
First big mistake of the game. Puts the ball back in the hands of the Bison. And it's Beachy. Looked like a little mix up there, but Beachy keeps it for the first down.
Well, 2 guys went one way and 1 guy went the other way. The guy with the ball, I think, might have made the mistake. Arden Beachy out of Staples, Minnesota. Quite the athlete. decathlon champion his freshman year in the North Central Conference track meet. Fine basketball player. We're tied at 7. There you see the time left in the first quarter.
It's funny, even though the Bison have had some foul-ups, they've resulted in first downs most of the time today. Now Beachy will pitch to Hansen. Perkins on him, gets past Perkins. Hansen passed another man out of bounds at the 30.
Perkins had a shot at him. He should have made that play. Mark Hansen, and to be perfectly honest with you, this has been a weakness in the Bison offense this year. They have not had running backs beat the first man. And right there, Hansen does it. That's a nice inside-outside fake. Give him the shoulder in and get to the outside. Now, a year ago, Tony Satter, he'd have left both those guys back at the 40 and been a touchdown. This is a different Bison offense in that regard.
First down at the 30 now, with 3:33 remaining on the first quarter clock. Fumble, and the Sioux have the ball. I believe it is Pat Murtha, the junior from Dickinson, number 95.
The key there, back it up, guys, is Arden Beachy knows he's got heat coming. This is a great scheme by the Sioux. Take Arden Beachy out of the game. He sees, oh, that guy's coming. He should have given it right there to Gunning. That's just good defense.
An exchange of turnovers here in the first quarter. Wall on the delay to Burnell again. Burnell slips some tacklers, but finally is stopped by the pile at the 38-yard line.
Boy, this kid shifts direction so quickly. You know, he reads his blocking, and he sets up his offensive linemen so well. He'll go left and quickly go back to the right and then cut straight up the field. I mean, all that offensive line is thinking, all I got to do is get a piece of my guy and maintain it, and Burnell will cut off it. He does it very well.
And you notice it usually takes a few bodies to bring him down.
Well, the scouting report on Burnell is he consistently beats the first man.
2nd and 1. With Jelinski in motion. Guess who? Burnell, oh, takes a big hit at the 42 before he's stopped. Somebody got him across the throat there, I think. Might have been Hartwig. But it is a first down for the Sioux at the 44.
You know, I asked Roger Thomas this week when he recruited Shannon Burnell, did you know he was going to be a great back? Or did you guys just go through two-a-day practice and come into a coach's meeting one night and say, holy smokes, you see what that kid out of Duluth did? He said it was a little bit of both.
Well, nobody expected this from him this year. Everybody figured Wall might be the key. But Burnell has carried the load as the Sioux pick up a few more on the ground.
You know, that run right there doesn't look like much, only, but I'll tell you, they've got to run that play to make the bounce play on Burnell work. Florida State, fourth quarter, leading Miami. Now there's a game we thought there'd be a whole lot of scoring.
Not quite, not yet anyway. Right here, it's 7 apiece with 1:43 to go in the first quarter.
If I'm Rob Bollinger, I'm thinking I got to get Corey Wall another completion here to get his confidence back after that interception, because that was not a good throw. And here he comes with it.
And Wall will scramble again. Doesn't get to midfield. Tony Monty slams the door.
Corey's a little tentative there, Pat. He had a man open. He had Jelinski, the wide receiver, coming across on a crossing route, but he wasn't going to throw it unless he was absolutely wide open. Tony Monty says, Corey Wall, you better get your pads down, buddy. Now this is where we're going to find out if the Sioux believe in Shannon Burnell on 3rd down and 6. And they want a timeout.
The noise builds, and so does the excitement here at Dakota Field. 47 seconds left in the first quarter. Bison 7, Sioux 7.
At Nodak Mutual, we are dedicated to ensuring the needs of all North Dakotans. From the city to the country, we help nearly 27,000 North Dakotans with all their insurance needs.
From secretaries
to computer programmers
to homemakers
to business owners.
And yes, to farmers. We're a North Dakota company fully committed to you and the future of North Dakota.
In Fargo, see Roger Peterson, Sandy Weber, and John Whittier.
You know, processing is important at 90-Minute Photo year-round, but during the Christmas season, it's very important to you, and that's why you want to take advantage of this special Christmas offer. Bring in your favorite picture or negative, and 90-Minute Photo can turn it into a beautiful Christmas card. With a minimum order of $25, you get 10 free.
And it's only $15.
Now, that's a pretty good deal at 90-Minute Photo.
90-Minute Photo. Picture perfect every time.
With Dana Mock and Ed Schultz, Pat Sweeney at Dakota Field, Fargo, North Dakota. The Sioux facing 3rd and 5 at the 49, and the crowd rises to its feet.
This is the first time today the Sioux have gone to 3 wide receivers on one side of the field. Now they're in motion out of it.
Burnell, the lone setback. It is Burnell. Nothing doing, says Monty.
Third down and 5. That's a tough call for an offensive coordinator. Your quarterback's already thrown an interception. He ate the ball the last time. Burnell's footing there really didn't have anything to do with whether he's going to get yards or not. Hanson and Monty knew exactly what was coming. You know, Burnell gets better as the game goes on, but the Bison defense does the same thing. Oh, this is a great game.
Darcy Dahlem now in for the first punt of this game. Oh, off of Adams, or Sanchez that is. Loose ball, the Sioux say they have it. It appeared to go off the foot of Raul Sanchez. And is that Murtha again, number 95? Sanchez never had it to begin with.
Just an honest mistake. You know, fielding punts is something that's really taken for granted. And that's the end of the first quarter. And Roger Thomas, if I'm you, buddy, I'll throw this one right in the end zone off the turnover.
Back with the second quarter after this on the North Dakota ABC Network.
The Doublewood Inn of Fargo and Bismarck is definitely where you want to be. The Doublewood Inn provides complete convention facilities from the executive boardrooms to the banquet and conference center, designed and staffed to successfully accommodate your every need. For weekend pleasures, the Doublewood Inn offers relaxation in the pool, whirlpool, and sauna. Enjoy renowned dining in a casual and elegant atmosphere. Comforts and hospitality await you at the Best Western Doublewood Inn of Fargo and Bismarck. Definitely where you want to be.
Cook Sign Company has been putting up high-quality, eye-catching signs all over the tri-state area for a long time now. And they're proud of the fact that they can give your business the first-class look you deserve. Ask the guys at Cook Sign Company how an attractive sign can be one of your most effective advertising tools. Remember, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. Call Cook Sign Company and find out what a good sign can do for you. Cook Sign Company, Fargo and Bismarck.
Let's go downstairs and hear what Dana Mock has for us. Dana?
Well, Ed, in the pregame predictions, I guess you'd call them, we talked to Mankato head coach Dan Runkle, who said the Sioux option defense has really improved. I don't think you can compare the Mankato option to NDSU option. That's like comparing apples to oranges. UND has given up over the past 7 years more than 35 points a game to NDSU. UND really has to come up big, and I think the biggest friend for the UND defense today will be that offense staying on the field.
I don't think we'll argue with that, as Shannon Burnell carries across to the 33 to open the second quarter as the Sioux get that ball back on the fumbled punt.
Now that's your counter Trey again, and that time Sean Stewart, he won the war in the middle against Bill Revere. I tell you, you fans out there watching this game, you won't be shortchanged if you take your eyes off the ball today and watch the center and the nose guard go at it when the Sioux have the football. This is one of the classic matchups on the offensive and defensive line today. Revere 58, Stewart 51.
That is the truth. The Bison with a couple of turnovers, and the Sioux with a 2nd and 8. Pass over the middle of the tight end, John Schumacher. Down inside the 15.
If there's one coach on the Sioux coaching staff that will see that play before anybody else, it's the offensive line coach, Jeff Tesh. He played tight end. Boy, did we make a living off this at Morehead State. Faking it the fullback and finding the tight end of the seam. Tesh did that better than anybody. In fact, that looks like Tesh right there. Different number, though. He's wearing 88. He's wearing 86 now. Schumacher is a big target. Looks like he's got a good pair of hands.
Schumacher, the former Central Valley High School standout. He's a junior from Reynolds, North Dakota. So it's first down at the 11. Early second quarter. Burnell plows ahead, but not much there as Jeff Hagman intervenes. Stewart, number 51, also in on the stop.
The thing that hurts the option offense, Pat, is that you really need the ball quite a bit to know what kind of defensive schemes you're going to see in certain situations. For the Bison, time of possession has always been a big statistic for them, as it has been for the Sioux.
Sioux have had a couple of games this year where they've controlled the ball for 40 minutes. 2nd and 8 at the 9. Wall looking, throwing, and overthrowing, throwing it away basically. Tom Landseed was covered over there.
That's all right. Throw it away. Don't give up the drive. Coaches won't yell at him for that. Corey Wall playing with that cast on the left hand. Well, that's okay, though. He just puts his plays there.
Banged it up in Mankato, and he says it doesn't bother him once he gets into the game. It's all business. And it is fortunate that it is not on his throwing hand. Fortunate for the Sioux anyway.
Now the Sioux offense, they've become extremely dangerous down here. They'll run the bootleg. Bison are coming with a blitz.
And Wall throws, had Watson in the end zone. Who's got it? They say touchdown. Oh, Pringle thought he had it.
Hey, isn't that what this game's all about? Who wants it most?
Jared Watson, a former Montana State receiver, playing his first game in this Sioux Bison rivalry, and he gets a little excited on occasion, as you see right there.
That was a great throw by Corey Wall, and we'll dissect it in a moment. Hey, don't take for granted these PATs, partner.
That's right. And look, to me, we'll see on the replay, I thought Watson was sliding the other way. That was a heck of a catch. Darcy Dahlem makes it 14-7 Sioux.
Watch the blitz coming. Linebackers coming. There's a hold by the left tackle. But Wall does a fine job of avoiding pressure and just stinging it in there. It was man-to-man coverage. Free safety didn't get over there fast enough. Big play by Watson. He wanted it.
Guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Walt Smith was wrong, because when Muskrat Mike discovered gold, it got somewhat better. And when the Swedish bikini team came downstream, it got a little better. And when reinforcements of Old Milwaukee arrived, it most certainly got better. Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It just doesn't get any better than this.
Hold me, never let me go until you use me. When you do, I know you'll always choose me. Let me know that I'm the one for you.
It's the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
Never, never, never let me go.
UND outpassing the Bison 39-0. Jared Watson with 9 of those on that last touchdown catch. The rushing fairly even. But the Sioux with their second lead of the game, doing what they have to do in Fargo, North Dakota. Burnell has rushed 9 times for 44 yards in the first quarter.
He's on track. That's his kind of day.
Out-of-town scores, look at this. At halftime, South Dakota State leading Northern Colorado 14-7, but...
Well, Northern Colorado's in even if they lose today. They've been #1 in the region all year.
Mankato and Augie tied at 14 late in the second quarter.
That's not a good sign for Dan Runkle's team. He's got to blow out Augustana to have any chance at all.
Darcy Dahlem with the kick. And Carlson is gunned down by Jeff Perkins. And Mike Mooney, number 46. Other scores, St. Cloud 14, Morningside 7 at the half, as we'll check the penalty here. And Omaha leads South Dakota 13-7 in the fourth quarter.
If I'm Dale Lennon, defensive coordinator, and we got a penalty against NDSU here, it may be holding. Let's see. Bob Meslow, the official. Clip on the return. All right. Field position. You're up 14-7, Sue. What a great time to gamble. Now's when you want to attack the Bison offense. Force them into a mistake. You got a lot of yards behind you. If they're going to do it, now's the time to do it.
Bison get the ball at the 10 after the penalty. Oh, Erickson has some room, turning the corner. Picks up a block and gets up to the 20. A big play on the first play.
Well, that's the zone play that we talked about earlier, the way they dive and then they bounce it back.
Scott Middlestead, number 38, in on the stop. As we see everybody going one way and Erickson has some room the other.
Well, that's what that dive play will do, that zone. They're just trying to give a look going one way and sometimes looks like a counter play. The key to that play is your offensive guards have got to get off on the linebackers.
So a 1st and 10 at the 20. Cahill going in motion. And Hansen is stopped immediately.
Monty Shade, nice play. Didn't allow the center to cut him that time. We got wars with both centers today on their nose guards. What? See Monty Shade, 77? He doesn't get cut. He keeps his... Oh, that's a great play. Run that back. You know, you got Smith coming off the ball, and there's Shade just taking his arms. That's where you use your strength of your bench press and your military press, because you can keep those linemen off you, keep your feet, and make the play. I am really impressed with how physical the Sioux have gotten since last year.
2nd and 8 at the 22. And the sun comes out, but Erickson goes down. Monty Shade again.
You know, Dana Mock down on the sideline. Dana, are we seeing the conservative Rocky Hager come out in him in a tight ball game today? I don't think they've thrown a pass.
Well, they have not thrown a pass yet today, Ed, but I think you're seeing a more conservative Rocky Hager down here in this end of the football field simply because he's pinned against his own goal line. Conservative, yes. Tight games, Rocky usually plays a little closer to the vest, wants to establish the dive. If the Bison get a lead, that's when they start opening it up. But if the Sioux score another touchdown, NDSU will be forced to go to the air.
Well, we might see one right here, fellas.
As it is 3rd and 10. Erickson in motion. The pass is to Erickson. O'Gorman with the hit at the 30. Let's see where they mark it.
I think he's going to need a Fargo spot to get the first down there.
It looks to be just short of the 30, the way the official is standing.
Now, Rocky's not going to go for it there, is he?
He's a yard short, just less than a yard.
You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding. The Bison are going to go for it here?
A gutsy call with 10:20 to go in the half.
I don't care if he makes it. This is a major gamble.
Beachy keeps. He's got it.
That is one statistic that has been glaring when you look at the Bison offense, is how productive they've been on 4th and short yardage all season long. I think the last several ball games, they're like 9 out of 11. Arden just looking for the seam coming down Both Bentram and Simdorn made a living on that play.
So from the 35, the Bison with a new set of downs. Straight ahead, it is Hansen. Up to the 42.
Brent Hansen, defensive back out of Devil's Lake, a sophomore. He's playing the free safety position. Now he's really starting to nose up there a little bit. Don't be surprised if Bison go for the home run ball here pretty soon.
Now looking at 2nd and 3. Erickson and Hansen, the setbacks. And it's Erickson. Short of the first down.
Boy, that free safety is flying in the alley. Dana down on the sidelines. You see that?
I can see it, Ed, and you know what's going to happen if that free safety comes up too fast. It's going to be just like that Moorhead State game again, where Bobby Jones could dump it over to the middle to a split end or a flanker who gets behind the secondary.
Well, there's the replay right there, and that, boy, that free safety very much involved in the run scheme and going off the field. Monty Shade, boy, they need him.
We'll keep an eye on Monty as Jim Rudd, the Sioux trainer, takes a look at him. But Greg Sackow has proven himself a capable backup this season for the Sioux. As Beachy gets away from trouble, but is stopped just short of the midfield stripe.
And Hansen making the stop, like I was saying. What was an interesting scheme defensively for the Sioux that time is they took their strong safety, Jeff Feldheim, and put him right on the line of scrimmage. To the left of your screen, you can't see him, and the Bison went the other way on the audible, and there's the free safety 11, Brent Hansen. I don't know why Rocky's not throwing the ball.
1st and 10 at the 49. Bison give it to Raul Sanchez, who picks up about 5.
Raul Sanchez, Sioux City, Iowa. He's the mystery back in the Bison camp. Nobody can figure out why this guy doesn't get more snaps. There you see Tony Satter. He's done a great job coaching the running backs this year.
Sanchez did score a touchdown in the Sioux Bison game last year, or the Bison Sioux game, whichever you prefer, as Mark Hansen carries for a few more. And some more conversation after the play.
There'll be that in any state rivalry anywhere in the country. You'll always have that jawing going on. I was saying earlier that the North Central Conference coaches, and Roger Thomas, I was talking to him about this earlier this week, and he's going to chair the meetings on Sunday down in Sioux Falls, and he was saying that it's going to be brought up about all the cheap play, not just these particular teams here today, but all across the league. They feel like it's gotten out of hand, and basically because the league is so balanced. Everybody wants the upper hand.
3rd and 2. Beachy will get it. We saw Monty Shade back on his feet on the Sioux sideline, but he has yet to. Now he comes back into the game.
Bison are accomplishing several things here. They're keeping Shannon Burnell off the field, and they're moving the ball on the ground, and they're looking at 4-down territory, I guess, all over the place. Heck, they went for it back at their own 29-yard line. Let's go down to Dana.
Fellas just had an update on Monty Shade. They checked him for a slight ligament damage. The more they moved his knee around, the better he felt, and I think the more he saw the Bison moving down the field, the more he wanted to get back in where he is just now.
The better he felt. Beachy wrapped up by Sean Hansen of Lisbon.
We got all kinds of Class B guys in this game, don't we?
This is tremendous. A lot of area players, a lot of state players. Hope you're enjoying it on our ABC network across North Dakota.
Back that up, fellas. Watch 77 Shade. This is what a lot of coaches in the North Central Conference don't like. They don't like this blocking scheme that the Bison use, that cut block, and they're going to try to talk about it at the conference meetings to get the Bison to quit using that technique, because sometimes it takes out knees. It is legal. There's your
Beachy will put it up over the head of Cahill, and a possible late hit there, but Chad Holder got away with it.
Well, it's been almost an hour since warm-ups, and Arden hadn't thrown the ball.
0 for 1 here, as Middlestat was flying in his face, and I was surprised they didn't get a flag there.
That was probably should have been a penalty there. He could have let that one go. That ball was thrown high and away. Sioux might have gotten away with one there.
3rd and 10. See if Beachy puts it up again. He'll pitch to Sanchez. First down.
Now what the Bison will do is they'll run the option away from the 2 receiver side, and that's what they did. They got 2 receivers to the left of your screen, 1 to the right, and then they'll run it to the weak side. And the free safety has got to come all the way over and make the play on Sanchez. O'Gorman fighting a wide receiver there. So in the option offense, you can do a lot of things by just the way you line up in formation. Here comes the wishbone again, inverted bone.
Bison started this drive on their 10. They trail 14-7 with 5.5 to go in the half. And it's Sanchez for a few. Up to the 25.
Which coach is going to be the first guy to go for 2 today? Huh? Heck, Rocky, if you're going to go for it on 4th down and a yard from your own 30, you might as well go for 2 every time.
We could see it here in a few moments if the Bison continue to drive. We've eaten up a lot of time. Ahead is Hansen. Picks up about 4 more to the 21. Craig Kohler in on the stop again. Craig, the leading tackler on the Sioux. There's Big Dave Marion, the senior from Bismarck, North Dakota. And offensive guard Kevin Bloom, as the Bison are faced with a 3rd and 3 here on the 20. Sanchez and Erickson in the backfield. It'll be Beachy. Still don't know if he got it.
Jay Wandler did a nice job, sophomore out of Dickinson. He came up and forced the angle on Arden Beachy that time. And this is close. They'll have to measure it. You know, this is as good a defense as I've seen anybody play against the Bison this year, except for maybe Northern Colorado. You know, the Sioux are playing pretty good defense right now. They've only given up a touchdown, and they're making the Bison convert on 3rd and 4th down situations. I've never seen these 2 teams this equal in talent. It's been a long, long time.
I'm just going to say, to have a competitive game in Fargo, it has been a long, long time. So you see the Bison a little short here. They'll put it down for 4th and 1. And we'll wait for the chain gang to get set. Everybody else is ready except the chain gang.
This is where the Bison are very dangerous to the outside.
Bison converted an earlier 4th and 1, and Beachy will keep it, and we'll see if he got it. It appears that he did. 3:47 to go in the opening half. It is 14-7 in favor of the Sioux. And the officials trying to get everybody backed off and cleared away so they can do their job. First down, says Bob Meslow, the referee. The other officials today: Richard Erickson, the umpire; Mark Larson, the line judge; Mike Cannon, the back judge; Dwayne Muchler, the linesman; and the field judges, Jim Murray. So with 3:38 to go and the clock on the move, it's 1st and 10 at the 16 for the Bison.
Unbalanced line.
Sanchez plows ahead, and he's plowed back. Jay Wadler, we talked about him earlier.
Well, he forced the option on Beachy a couple of plays ago. That kid, that's a nice form tackle. Watch this linebacker on the left side. Nobody touches him. Good position, good form tackling there. Very good strength, too.
Wadler transferred to the Sioux before this season from Wyoming.
You know, and what he does when Flo goes the other way and he's the backside linebacker, he's the guy in charge of the cutback. So when he commits himself, he's got to lock up.
Beachy has a man open. Oh, but he threw.
Face guarding.
Threw to Ski. Had another fellow open. Tracy Bezick, and a penalty here on the Sioux.
No doubt about it. Face guarding. Dana, what'd you see down there?
Happened right in front of me, fellas, and Craig Kohler, the inside linebacker for the Sioux, was about 2 steps slow on picking up Eric Ski, and you called it, Edward. He was face guarding all the way. In fact, they could have called it on 1 or 2 players, but I think it's going to go against number 53, Craig Kohler.
Well, there you saw the replay. The tight end, Ski, he got behind the linebacker, the strong safety, and the free safety that time, but that play is either going to be there right away or it's not going to be there at all. Just like when the Sioux hit their tight end earlier in their drive.
From the 2. Beachy will walk in for a touchdown, his second of the day. Milford will attempt to tie it, and he does with 2:40 remaining. It is 14 apiece. We're in for a dandy here in Fargo. Stick with us.
At Nodak Mutual, we are dedicated to ensuring the needs of all North Dakotans. From the city to the country, we help nearly 27,000 North Dakotans with all their insurance needs.
From secretaries
To computer programmers.
to homemakers.
To business owners. And yes, to farmers. We're a North Dakota company fully committed to you and the future of North Dakota.
In Fargo, see Mike Bruckbauer, Dan Olmsted, and Ron Glazer.
Say, sweetheart, you're new around here.
They just bought me today, and tomorrow I get my heating system repaired.
Great, we get rid of the DeSoto.
DeSoto? Cars must last a long time around here. You look good for an older man.
Of course, sweetheart, we only get black tie service from United Electric.
Is that where I'm going?
Relax, sweetheart. At United Electric, you'll have only the best, and you'll be home by dark. Welcome back, sweetheart.
United Electric. What a wonderful experience.
What'd I tell you? Here's blinking at you, kid.
Well, Ed, we talked about how important ball control would be. 20 plays, 90 yards, 10 minutes, and 19 seconds.
Well, on the outside there, you can barely see it, but Craig Kohler, the outside linebacker, committed himself that time. Maybe if he had been in a hang and run technique, he could have slowed the play down a little bit to get some help. But on a goal line defense, very seldom do you see that. You normally have guys on the outside committing. You know, the big thing, Pat, is that drive ate up 10 minutes off the clock. This game is going to come down to a big mistake or a big play.
McDonald's kick gets caught up in the wind, and it comes down to Ross Almley. Up to the 40 and across to the 43.
Well, tell me about the Sioux 2-minute offense.
Well, I'm still amazed at that 90-yard drive. The Sioux had 2 drives of 90-plus yards last week, and now the Bison answer with a 90-yard drive. The Sioux have done it before. Wall will be put to the test here, going.
Well, they've only got 58
here.
yards here. You know, I mean, they got all their timeouts except I think they only got 2 timeouts left. They've used 1.
With 2 left. That's right. The Sioux are capable. We'll see if they do throw it, and they will. They'll try. Wall eludes one man. Has Omley. Oh, he dropped it.
Corey Wall wanted to go deep that time, but he had to avoid a tackler in the backfield, and so he ended up taking the short man. That was a pretty smart play by the Sioux quarterback, because on a pass like that, you're either going to get it out of bounds or you're going to have a shot at a completion. That would have been a great catch, but it was certainly a catchable ball. Nice touch.
Sioux will probably pull out a few things from their bag of tricks. Roger Thomas said they haven't had to use many of them this year. Now they line up 3 receivers left. But now Jelinski in motion to the right. Wall fakes. Now he'll run with it. Trying to turn the corner up to the 46 of NDSU.
John Elway, quarterback draw. Nice looking play.
Corey's gotten a little gutsier as the season has gone on that way.
Well, you don't have anything to wait for. You know, he's a senior. Got to get it done.
Well, Corey's actually a junior. He's been around for 5 years. Stepping into the shoes of Todd Kovash. Clock running out here in the first half. We're tied at 14.
Lots of time.
Landsiedel to the left, Jelinski to the right. And it's Burnell ahead. Burnell on his feet at the 30. Out of bounds at the 20. The Sioux coming up big here.
Great offensive line play and a great read by Shannon Burnell. Watch the fullback, Omley, makes a big block. That's a blast play. Let's run it back. You'll see great movement up front. When you make contact, you got to move people. Watch the left guard on Stewart, forcing him to spin. He loses contact with where the runner is, and Burnell's able to bounce out. They even had a guy on the free safety. Boy, I tell you, they just do a nice job of executing.
That was Mark Urson, number 62, a senior. 1st and 10 at the 21. It's Omley, the second man, scrambling up to the 15. Strong safety, Steve Marion, tripping him up. Sioux will work that clock down. No huddle.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Wall again to Landsiedel. And the senior from Minot has the completion. We'll see where they mark the progress at the 11.
Well, that's going to be close to a first down. That's a good call, you know. On the heels of a big run by Burnell, you come back and fake to him and you throw to your receiver.
They say it's a first down.
And UND wants a timeout. And this is a good time to do that because you're in scoring position. Make sure you get the right play.
With 55 ticks to go in the opening half, it is 14 apiece. We'll be back with the conclusion of the half in just one moment.
There's a unique bank in the Red River Valley. A bank that has embodied all of the best industry has to offer. A bank that's rooted in your community, yet stretches across the valley. A bank that's stable, strong. A bank that's meeting the future with solid footings based in the experience of the past. It's the bank of the future, and it's here today. First National Bank, North Dakota.
Now there's a high-quality tax-free investment being managed right here in North Dakota. ND Tax-Free Fund, Inc. It offers you an opportunity to invest in a portfolio of top-quality North Dakota municipal bonds. No front-end charge, and the monthly income is tax-free. For more complete information, including charges and expenses, obtain a prospectus from your investment dealer. Read it carefully before you invest or send money. ND Capital, Inc., member NASD and SIPC.
The Sioux facing a 3rd and 1 at the 12 with 55 seconds to go in the opening half. And the score tied.
You know, you can get several plays off here with 55 seconds left. They got to be thinking first down.
Wall will keep it. Squeezing ahead. It appears that he has it.
Now that'll stop the clock to move the chains, and now UND can look to the sideline and get the play they want. So it's almost like a timeout. And that's what Corey Wall's doing. This is a good move by the Sioux, getting their offense up before the Bison defense can get set. Great coaching move by the Sioux here. You still got 52 seconds, but a great move here.
Now the clock resumes. 46 seconds to go. Fake to Burnell. Wall has plenty of room. Dumps it off to Burnell, who takes a shot at the 5-yard line. Paul Schaffner.
Great patience by Corey Wall. He checked off to 3 different receivers and took the underneath man and thread the needle.
They mark it at the 3. It's only over. Touchdown. Ross Almley scores the first touchdown of his collegiate career. And how timely for the Sioux. It gives North Dakota a 20-14 lead. Darcy Dahlem of Regina, Saskatchewan will try to make it 21-14. And Dahlem is 3 for 3 on PATs today.
Nothing fancy, because they knew they had 24 seconds left, so they were going to get at least 3 plays off. So make them respect the inside, and if they hadn't have gotten that, Roger probably would have bounced Burnell to the outside on the next 2 plays. So good sequence of play calling by the Sioux coaches. Let's go down to Dana.
You know, these are supposedly 2 of the best defenses in the NCC. NDSU #1 in total defense. The Bison have stopped the Sioux once. UND has failed to stop NDSU, although the Bison did stop themselves with a fumble on one drive. I think before this game is over, they may have to replace some light bulbs in this scoreboard over here on the West End, fellas.
Well, I thought it was going to be in the 30s. I might be 10 short the way this thing is going.
Well, my pick is off already. I said the Bison 21-14. Dana, do you get any sense from the Bison? Are they shocked? Are they surprised at all here?
No, I don't think they are, Pat, and I think there are 2 reasons. One is called Grand Valley State. The other one is called Northern Colorado. Leo Ringy will do some homework during the first half and at halftime. I think the Bison feel that they can make some adjustments at second half and come out. I don't think they can stop the Sioux. They're hoping, I'm sure, that they can slow them down. I'll tell you what, there is one thing Shannon Burnell proved on that last drive. He can take a hit. I'll tell you what, he got popped when he caught that pass from Corey Wall by Paul Schaffner. Bounced right up, no problem at all.
Along those lines, I don't know if there's that many adjustments that Leo Ringy can make. I mean, the Sioux are running right at him, and then they're faking and throwing a little bit. They may be able to stunt their defensive line a little bit, but UND physically is getting the job done up front, and the Bison offensive line is doing the same thing when they have the ball.
The kick comes to Craig Garrett behind Kyle Carlson's block, and out he goes. If you've just tuned in, the Sioux lead the Bison 21-14 in Fargo. The Bison have yet to lead in this game, and with 8 seconds left, let's see what happens at the 29-yard line.
You know, it's been awfully tough for this Bison football team to live up to the expectations of following a national championship team. And this team has played under the umbrella of immense pressure all season long.
Beachy gets a good block and dumps it off to Kurt Gunning. And that'll stop the clock with 3 seconds to go.
Dana, I think the difference in this game so far is that the Bison haven't thrown the football.
No, but I mean, why should they? The UND has not stopped the Bison offense yet. The lone turnovers by North Dakota State have prevented the offense from doing anything. One was a fumble on a handoff. The other was a fumbled punt by Raul Sanchez. So I don't know why Rocky would change. He probably doesn't want to score so quickly so that UND offense will get on the field.
Well, I think the Bison have got to get a big play through the air several times today to win.
And there is a play through the air to T.R. McDonald at the 40, but Brent Hansen stops him there. That's the end of the first half, and look out.
See, now that's the first pass reception that T.R. McDonald has had all day long, and he's got more touchdown receptions than anybody else in the conference. Let's go down to Dana Mock. He's with head coach Roger Thomas.
Roger, did you expect this kind of fireworks in the first half with two pretty respected defenses in the NCC?
Well, the offenses have certainly, they've both had some nice drives, and if it wasn't for the turnovers on either side, they could have even been more points, I think. But our guys came out, played some pretty good. I think there's some things we have to shore up on defense a little bit, but hopefully we can keep, mixing the run to pass and keep the ball away.
Putting 3 TDs on the board, that's got to give this ball club a lot of confidence.
Well, it really did. And the first one, you and I talked before the game, and that first series or first quarter was awfully important, and that helped us. That helps to get over the the intimidation of this place and so on.
Yeah, so much for a slow starting ball club. Roger Thomas, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second half. Fellas, let's go back up to you.
Well, he seems to feel pretty good about the way his offensive line is getting the job done. And, hey, holding the Bison to 14 points in the first half at their place, that's not a bad job defensively either.
Well, just to have 3 leads, I mean, this is the first time I've seen 2 previous Sioux Bison games down here, Ed, and this is the first time I've ever seen the Sioux score on this field.
Sioux can't get carried away with this yet. There's a lot of football left here. Knock off the rah-rah stuff, stay within the framework of business, and let the celebration take place later if it is to be. If I'm Rocky Hager, I'm thinking we have got to get some kind of pass plays and some big plays out of our offense if they're going to get out of here today with a win.
And we saw that mistakes have played a role in this. The Sioux score after a fumbled punt. A Sioux penalty helps the Bison to a touchdown, so something else to look for in the second half. We will have Dana Mock back with us with the halftime show right after this. It's 21-14 Sioux at intermission.
Today is a beautiful day. You have 3 beautiful children. They look like you, but they're going to be doctors. Can your life get any better? Yes, because you're going to McDonald's to get real values at unreal prices. Only 59 cents for a regular hamburger, 69-cent cheeseburger, 99-cent chicken fajitas, and great deals on Happy Meals. You save money. You're smart. But your children, they're geniuses. Yes, life is good. And at these prices, it only gets better at McDonald's today.
Guys, doesn't get any better than this.
Bob Pullum was wrong, because when a crate of lobsters fell from the sky, it got somewhat better. And when the Swedish bikini team dropped by, it got a little better. And when an old Milwaukee truck showed up, it most certainly got better. Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It just doesn't get any better than this.
Playmakers Sports Cafe and Bar. Playmakers just north of Big Top Bingo.
Not all service stations are the same. Look for this Amoco Certicare sign for quality service 7 days a week.
Work will be done by certified technicians qualified to service your computerized late model fuel injection vehicle. Saturdays and Sundays are no problem with most parts in stock. Your local Amoco Certicare dealer even works on foreign makes. It's all backed by the Certicare nationwide 4-month, 6,000-mile warranty.
To ensure easier starts on cold winter days, have your battery performance tested free at West Acres Amoco or Valley North Amoco.
Welcome back to Dakota Field in the 96th meeting between the University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux and the North Dakota State University Thundering Herd. We're at halftime where the Sioux lead the Bison by a score of 21-14. Huge game in the state of North Dakota. This one is always the eye-catcher for most football fans in this great state. But there is a nationally ranked game today that has caught the eye of millions. We're talking about #1 Florida State and #2 Miami. This game taking place down in the Sunshine State of Florida. And what a shocker, #2 Miami pulling off the upset, beating #1 Florida State. In Miami's opening drive, Stephen McGuire with a 2-yard touchdown run up the middle. That made it 7-0 Canes. Here comes Florida State. Paul Moore, a 1-yard TD. Florida State took a 10-7 lead. Jerry Thomas, then with his third field goal, makes it 16-7 Florida State. Late in the fourth quarter, Miami's Larry Jones with a 2-yard TD plunge. That made it 17-16 Miami. Florida State with a field goal with 20 seconds left to win it. It was no good. #1 Florida State loses to #2 Miami. 17-16 was that final. In other games, #4 Michigan and Illinois will play later on today. Florida beating Kentucky by a score of 28-6 in the third. #7 Alabama is struggling with Memphis State in the second quarter. Other college football games, Notre Dame will take on #8 Penn State today. #9 Iowa surprisingly struggling with Northwestern. 10-3 is that score in the second quarter. Mankato State and Augustana tied at 14 at halftime. That would be a huge blow to the Mavericks Division II playoff hopes. Later on tonight, a huge game in the West Region. Portland State will be playing Idaho State and Southern Utah. That game with West Region ramifications. And at halftime, South Dakota State is surprising Northern Colorado by a score of 14-7, although Northern Colorado has probably already wrapped up a Division II playoff bid. We'll come back with more festivities here at halftime at Dakota Field, where the Bison trail the Sioux 21-14. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Our 6-inch meatball sub for $1.69 is 4 meatballs and Italian sauce. I've never been to Italy, but I know some people have. We bake bread here every day. I come in real early. Also, there's cheese, onions, everything. Just point and it's yours. This has hot peppers because it's mine. I like things spicy.
For 25 years, Subway has quietly made some of the best sandwiches anywhere. Like the 6-inch meatball sub. Only $1.69, only at Subway.
Stop and go. We're always there.
Join in the savings and prizes now during the grand opening celebration of 3 new stores in Dilworth, Valley City, and Carrington. Register at all stores for great prizes and store-wide special savings. It's going on now at all Stop and Go stores.
For groceries, snacks, movie rentals, and more, and self-serve gas fast, see me, Billy Joe, at Stop and Go.
Cardioplegia on, suction on. Looks good, Dr. Donnelly.
It's still hard to believe how quickly he recovered. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling good.
Jack was back on his feet in a matter of days. It's amazing what they can do today.
I'll take care, Jack.
Winners, all these special people, they are the ones who make us uniquely Merit Care.
FM Auto Mart is Nissan. Maxima 2300 CX, Pathfinder, Sentra, and all the rest. FM Auto Mart's built for the human race. Come on down and relax inside. Get the easy deal from the Sawcell guys. FM Auto Mart is Nissan, your Sawcell dealer.
Welcome back to Dakota Field in Fargo, site of the Bison-Sioux game. The Sioux leading the Bison by a score of 21-14. One phrase you hear in UND country this week, it's, I hate the Bison. The one thing you hear in Fargo is, I hate the Sioux. But believe it or not, the Bison and Sioux joined forces this week. The Army ROTC units for both making it to Fargo for today's game. No trip, stumbles, or fumbles. You understand that athletic director Terry Wallace has a sore elbow. Another story out of Grand Forks. He puts this game in perspective. UND hockey player Jace Reed has undergone a liver and kidney transplant. He is in the hospital right now.
Well, we're sorry Dana's apparently having some problems with his microphone. We'll try to get that corrected. But first, a look at this tape from NDSU.
It takes teamwork to drive any modern organization in our society today. Teamwork is what North Dakota State University is all about. Generally, when anyone talks about the NDSU team and what it means to North Dakota, the mind's eye sketches out a picture, something like this.
Hi, I'm Andy Ewald from St. Paul, Minnesota, majoring in sociology. I play offensive tackle for the Bison, and I'm graduating in the spring.
There's more to the NDSU team than what meets the eye.
Mike Duffy, architect with Guest & Duffy Company in Fargo, 1972 graduate from NDSU, hometown Ampler, North Dakota.
My name is Heidi Sand, and I'm a police officer with the Fargo Police Department. I'm a 1978 graduate of NDSU, and my hometown is Fargo, North Dakota.
Bob Beckland from West Fargo, 1983 graduate from electrical engineering, and I'm a pilot for the Air Guard.
Hi, my name's Lori Allen. I was born and raised in Fargo and am a 1983 graduate of NDSU. I'm a veterinary technician and employed by Animal Health Clinic here in Fargo.
I'm Lynn Montgomery from West Fargo, North Dakota originally. I graduated from NDSU in 1979, and I'm currently an obstetrician gynecologist at Dakota Clinic in Fargo.
Jim Osborne, president of North Dakota State University, from Fleischer, North Dakota, class of 1959.
North Dakota State University is a full partner in the social, economic, and cultural life of North Dakota.
I'm real impressed with the University of North Dakota. I was a transfer student to UND, and I'm a great deal more at ease and impressed with the education here at UND. I found it's a lot more personalized, and that professors really care about the students, and there's a lot more opportunities available here. I guess I couldn't imagine going through the nursing program at UND without my co-op experience. I spent 4 semesters in different areas of nursing. Well, the majority of my friends are in nursing co-ops, but I also know people who have co-opted in 3M and IBM and some in NASA. Usually you can find UND co-op students throughout the United States. UND is one of the top housing programs in the nation. You had a chance to meet lots of friends in the residence halls, and I would suggest that for anybody because you develop friendships that can last a lifetime. There's just lots to do right on campus without even having to leave university. The education at UND is one of the top-notch in the nation as far as I'm concerned.
Well, welcome back to Dakota Field. We apologize for some audio problems we did have. As I was saying, we have a story now from Grand Forks that may put this game in a bit of perspective. UND hockey player Jace Reed has undergone liver and kidney transplants down in Minnesota, Rochester, Minnesota to be exact, and the Sioux family really has rallied around this young man. A fund drive is underway to help defray some of the costs of the operation. Here's a sample in the form of a public service announcement in Grand Forks. They are raising some money. Joining us live now is the Fund Drive co-chair in Ken Towers. Ken, tell us a little bit about Jace Reed, first of all, and how this all happened.
Jace Reed, part of the dryland training for the Sioux hockey team is a 10K run on September 15th, and temperature was 72 degrees, humidity 98, and he had exercise hypothermia, which is a heat stroke. Body temperature soared to 106 degrees and a little up. And what they ended up doing, it ended up destroying his organs. He had to have a liver and kidney transplant. The first liver was an emergency measure, not a match. They had to go back in and do a second liver transplant about 3 weeks ago, and then he's had 5 other major surgeries since then. Needless to say, his life was in jeopardy for a long time. That was 2 months ago. And it looks like now that he's on the road to recovery. Talked to his dad, was in Grand Forks last week to pick up his clothes on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, and he's looking better.
And they are hitting the Red River Valley and northwestern Minnesota. The young man is from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, right?
I guess all of Minnesota and North Dakota, and that's a good thing about living in this kind of community. I think people care for each other, and we've had a lot of outpouring of cash, gifts, and cards. We really appreciate that, and we would like to thank the people, and I think in the previous announcement it told of how they could donate to that.
Ken, thanks for joining us. We've got to move along here, and we wish, of course, the best of luck to Jace Reed and his family in this battle. And Jace Reed's hockey team will be battling at the University of Minnesota Duluth tonight in Duluth. The Sioux lost to the Dogs last night by a score of 7-3. Back with more at Dakota Field at halftime when we come back after this.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, sir.
Winter doesn't stand a chance. It's 4x4 month at your local Ford dealer. That means big savings on the Winter Tough four-wheel drive Ford Ranger, loaded with road-gripping four-wheel drive traction, standard anti-lock brakes, Ford's exclusive twin traction beam suspension for a great smooth ride, plus over $2,600 in winter savings. The Winter Tough 92 Ford Ranger. Winter doesn't stand a chance. See your local Northland Ford dealer now during 4x4 month.
SF-187, Cargill's red-hot sunflower hybrid. It produces both the yield and the oil for top income per acre. Its stalks are shorter and stronger to stand up against the wind and the weevil. Remember the number, SF-187. The company is Cargill.
Count on Cargill, hybrid seeds.
At Nodak Mutual, we are dedicated to ensuring the needs of all North Dakotans. From the city to the country, we help nearly 27,000 North Dakotans with all their insurance needs.
From secretaries
to computer programmers,
to homemakers,
to business owners,
and yes, to farmers. We're a North Dakota company fully committed to you and the future of North Dakota.
In Fargo, see Scott Martin, John Whittier, and Mike Bruckbauer.
4th and long, looks like a pass play for sure. The quarterback under center, there's the snap. He's back to pass. Checks downfield, finds a receiver, it's in the air.
Whether you're playing to win or working to achieve your personal best, Dakota Sports Medicine helps you get the most out of your sport. After all, sports aren't just about winning today. They're the beginning of a lifetime of good health and fitness. Dakota Sports Medicine, 280-3226. Everybody wins.
Well, today's game will mark the end of the regular season in the NCC, and tomorrow the conference coaches will get together down in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for the conference meeting. One of the main topics to be discussed is the personal foul rage going around the league. It has become a concern among coaches, everybody pointing fingers at everybody else. Conference Commissioner Noel Olson says the action will be taken to curb cheap play. He is proposing an automatic suspension for anyone kicked out of a game. They will also address cut blocks. Coaches complaining that blocks are getting into the gray area and it could lead to some injuries. Coaches we talked to this week say they will demand that the games will never ever be canceled like that happened this year. Rocky Hager will propose that the season will be moved up a week, so at the end of the regular season there will be one open date before the playoffs will begin, so in case games have to be made up, they can be made up then. Highlights from today's first half. We've got plenty of them. The Sioux leading the Bison by a score of 21-14. UND scoring on its opening drive. Corey Wall with a 15-yard scramble. He goes straight up the middle for a 7-0 Sioux lead. On the next drive, NDSU comes right back. Arden Beachy goes right on the option, keeps it, goes in for 16 yards. That tied the game at 7. Corey Wall comes back for UND in the second quarter. 8-yard TD pass to Jared Watson. Great scramble, great pass there. It was 14-7 UND. Second quarter, Beachy again, a 2-yard TD run with 2:40 remaining. It tied the game at 14, but UND's offense was not done. With 15 seconds left, the freshman from Mayville, Ross Olmley, with a 3-yard TD dive, his first college touchdown of his career. It gave the Sioux a 21-14 lead. That's where we stand right now. For some halftime statistics, let's go upstairs to the gentleman who called the first half, Pat Sweeney and Ed Schultz. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Dana. I don't know what more we could ask out of this game. It has been very close. It has been very competitive. The Sioux lead 21-14. They haven't let the Bison into the lead so far. Rushing yards, now the Bison have the edge there, but take a look at the passing yards. UND with the edge there. The Bison didn't do much passing until late in that half. Total yards fairly even. NDSU with a 6-yard advantage. And penalties have played a part in these scoring drives in the first half. Turnovers, NDSU had a fumbled punt which led to the touchdown by Watson. And UND had an interception. Third down, look at NDSU there. 5 of 8 and UND 2 of 3. And on 4th down, the Bison are perfect. The stats are close. The game is close. Average gain on 1st down. Look at this. Both teams getting at least 5 yards a crack. On 2nd down, UND with a little edge there. But let's see what it says on 3rd down, if anything. Nope. Total offense, Brunel with a big chunk of UND's offense with 86 total yards. Beachy leading the way for the Bison. NDSU out rushing Brunel 160 to 79. But Brunel on his way apparently to another 100-plus yard game. While we have a second here, I just want to tell you how you can contribute to the Jace Reed Fund. We didn't really give an address. You can make your check out to the Jace Reed family, and the easiest way to contribute is to send it to the UND Athletic Office, Grand Forks 58202, although Grand Forks businessmen John Marshall and Ken Towers are organizing this fund drive. It is not UND, but the easiest way to get your money in is to send it to the UND Athletic Office and make your check out to the Jace Reed family. And we wish the best to Jace and his family and to the Sioux hockey team, a 7-3 loser last night at Duluth. The Sioux have dropped 3 in a row with the rematch coming up tonight.
Well, Pat, before this day is over, let's go down to Dana Mock.
Rocky, you stopped the Sioux offense one time in the first half. Is there some panic on NDSU's part?
No, we don't want to panic. We still have to play good, hard football for the final 30 minutes. In all honesty, we stopped ourselves some offensively, too. We had opportunities to do some things. We got the one turnover. We turned it right back over. We muffed the punt. Those are the mistakes that we got to make corrections on. Hopefully we can get it done this half.
Rocky, good luck in the second half.
Rocky Hager, head coach of the Bison. His team will receive to start the second half. Pat, before the day's over with, we're going to have to talk about who is going to be in the postseason and who isn't. And tomorrow on 970 WDAY Radio, we will have a special playoff announcement show. NCAA playoff field will be announced tomorrow at 11 o'clock, followed by Sports Talk. Yours truly and Jim Heilman talking it over about the Division II football field. No matter who wins this game today, we'll have that show tomorrow at 11 a.m. on DAY Radio. And Pat, right now, both these football teams look like they're very deserving of the postseason. You know, there's just not much difference between the Bison and the Sioux. And I think it's a travesty what has happened to North Dakota this year. Roger Thomas has displayed without question that his team can win big games. They went on the road last week, and they won at Nebraska, Omaha. It was unfortunate with what happened as far as the weather was concerned and not playing Northern Colorado, and they have proven a lot today to come here in the first 30 minutes and show that they can really slug it out with the Bison and beat them in a number of areas. I don't know how the people around the country are going to view the strength of the North Central Conference, but if they're going to take 3 teams, it certainly isn't going to hurt anybody else. Northern Colorado, whether they win or lose today, they're in because they've been rated very high in the West region all year long. It's unfortunate what has happened to UND, and I really do think that you can't hold, and I'm not saying this because I played for Ross Fortune and the Dragons. Morehead State is a good football team, and they're ranked number 3 in the nation in NAIA Division I. And I don't know how many teams out of the North Central Conference could beat the top 5 teams in NAIA Division I. I think you got to start looking at that as a pretty good non-conference win. So I think it's a travesty as the way people have looked at the Sioux football program this year. They deserve to get in the playoffs whether they lose today or not.
I'm not going to argue with you on that. That's the big mystery, how that Morehead State game doesn't seem to count for much. Well, in any event, the Sioux kick it off here in the second half, and it comes down to Kyle Carlson, the freshman from Dickinson. Buried across the 20-yard line. And Carlson, incidentally, is the nephew of former Sioux and Viking Dave Osborne.
Rocky Hager knows the importance of this first drive, and you say Carlson, Dana Mock down the sideline. Are we going to see Chris Carlson at quarterback at all today, or is this going to be Arden show?
Well, I'm not sure, Edward. I can tell you what, Rocky Hager would feel just fine, just comfortable putting in Chris Carlson. He has as much confidence in Carlson as he does in Arden, but Carlson is not quite the passer that Arden is, although he's quicker when he gets into the alley.
Bison on the first play from scrimmage. Goes straight ahead with Hansen up to midfield. And Holder saves a possible touchdown.
You know, we talked about adjustments at halftime, and I really thought there's not a whole lot of adjustments the defense can make for NDSU, but this is just straight ahead football, beating them at the line of scrimmage. They got the angle on Sean Hansen, the defensive lineman that time, caught the linebacker out of position, and Hansen making a nice run for the Bison, one of his best runs of the season.
The Bison with a big gain to start the second half, 1st and 10 at the 49. Beachy on the pitch to Raul Sanchez, turning the corner and bowling over Blaine O'Gorman up to the 41.
Raul Sanchez, a very talented running back, has not gotten the kind of playing time he'd like, a real team player, and he's got ability. Now this is where UND has got to look for the home run ball. They're going to have to be disciplined in the secondary.
You saw Kyle Schweigert there a moment ago, the Sioux defensive backfield coach. Another first down, or no, excuse me, 2nd and 1 for the Bison. Fake to Hansen, the loose ball is gobbled up by Sanchez. And the Bison take a big step back there.
Nice defensive scheme by the Sioux. They put pressure on Arden Beachy right away, forcing the pitch. And we've seen 3 different plays and 3 different schemes. Nice play by Middlestad on the outside. Arden a little slow reacting to that. They had the pitch man covered as well with the linebacker who scraped. That's Craig Kohler.
So it's 3rd and 12. Back at the 48. And Beachy looking to throw. To Cahill, complete. First down, Bison.
Let's see where they spot the football. That is a serious Dakota Field spot. He would have had the first down. Beachy has been bothered by a sore arm all week. He took a shot in his bicep to the Morningside game, and they were concerned about how well he was going to throw the ball today. That one's ugly but accurate.
The junior from Harvey, North Dakota. We talked about all the area kids in this game. There's another one with a very important play.
Unbalanced line, wide side of the field.
Sanchez knocked to the ground by Monty Shade. No gain, or maybe a gain of 1.
You know, I just cannot believe how physical the Sioux have been able to upgrade their football team in the last few years. You know, they have really made a commitment to the weight program. It's obvious. I mean, you can see that in both the offensive and defensive lines. Rocky Hager was very nervous coming into today's ball game. You know, really respects what UND has done.
12 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Sioux lead the Bison 21-14. Beachy throws it back to Sanchez, who's seen more action as the game has progressed.
Kohler again doing a great job of getting outside and protecting the alley. There's Corey Wall now. Keep in mind, the last time the Bison had the football, they drove for 10 minutes. And you get awful cold out here in a hurry, and Corey Wall knows that. I really think he's been one of the big keys in the game. You know, Burnell's a great player, but I think Corey Wall's winning this thing today.
Wall scored the first touchdown to put the Sioux into the lead. Right here, it's 3rd and 5 at the 32. The fake to Erickson, the pitch to Hansen. Out of bounds at the 30. Short of the first down.
Now what
Jeff Feldheim there.
Now what the Bison are doing there is they're running the true triple option back to the short side of the field. To the left of yours, they're trying to get 21, the free safety, out of position so they can run the triple option back to the boundary. That is a one-on-one situation if the quarterback reads it right. And the Bison are trying to get them to get their free safety cheated over to the wide side of the field, filling in the alley so they can come back to the boundary with a true triple option.
4th and 3, the Bison 2 of 2 on 4th down conversions today. It'll be Beachy. It'll be Erickson. Touchdown, Bison.
They call him the Ken Mayer honker. And that was just a load on the defensive end and a single option on the corner. That's power football in a sense. And Erickson will hold for the extra point.
Ludwig Milford trying to tie it up again. And it is 21-21 with 11:04 to go in the third quarter. What a game. We'll be back.
An important part of NSP's job is maintaining our power lines. But by dramatically reducing pollution over the past 20 years, and by supporting tougher federal clean air standards, NSP is also helping to maintain these lines.
Bison pride. That championship quality is strong at NDSU. That same championship tradition is upheld by the Varsity Mart, NDSU's bookstore, carrying the best selection of official Bison licensed products. No matter what sport you support, the Varsity Mart can help you show your colors. They have the largest selection of Bison sportswear and Bison imprinted souvenirs available. So for that look of a national champion, come to the Varsity Mart, located in the Student Union, the heart of the NDSU campus.
Here's the replay of the touchdown. Watch Middlestead get hooked by the tight end Ski. Feldheim in the alley, a great block by Hansen, and that's too much for the defensive back, Chad Holder, to cover. He didn't get any help on that at all. Great block on the perimeter by Guerin. I mean, that was just a well-executed play. You had a block on the outside linebacker, you had a great block on the free safety, and you had a great block on the perimeter by the wide receiver on Holder. You couldn't have drawn it up any better than that. Oh, this is a great game. Tied at 21. Let's go down to Dana Mock.
Fellas, Roger Thomas was absolutely livid on that touchdown run by Pete Erickson. He wanted something called by the officials. I believe it was a clip or a chop block or something, because Middlestead came off and he's got a banged up knee, and right now he's not in any shape, way, or form able to come back into this football game. Well, but Roger Thomas talked to 3 different officials to make his point.
Well, maybe we can take a look at that replay again. I was looking on the outside and didn't see it, but it's very possible that could have happened.
Burdick's return to the 37, and the Sioux with their first possession of the second half. The fake to Burnell. Wall has room on the left side. Slides in safely at the 43.
Oh, they're going to flag him.
Pushing back of the play.
That's a great call by the Sioux coaching staff. Make the Bison respect what Corey Wall can do, and he just took a shot on that broken arm, and it really was a late hit, and the Bison are going to get flagged for it, and rightfully so.
Todd Wash, number 97.
Well, Corey Wall committed to the turf.
Right.
And you're not supposed to hit players when they commit to the turf. This is the right call. The officials did not miss this one at all. And it's a great call. Now he's down there by 5 yards, and Wash, oh, that's just no question about it. See, now the Bison just gave him good field position, one play on their first drive of the second half. It's a stupid play by the Bison.
And it gives the Sioux the ball at the Bison 43. Burnell straight ahead. Close to a first down.
Let's go down to Dana Mock.
It's a stupid play, Edward, but it's a play that we've seen a few times this year, at least Bison fans have seen. It's a play that has kept some drives alive. Personal fouls have been the bugaboo for this Bison defense. Just when it seems like they have a team stuck down in their own territory, they'll have something like that. It'll give them a first down, or it'll move them into great field position. So the Bison really can only blame themselves on this drive.
Well, the Bison can also fault themselves. They haven't kicked off very well today. They're giving the Sioux 20 yards of field position every time UND gets the ball.
2nd and 1. It's Burnell for the first down, and another flag down. We were talking to Jeff Tesh earlier, and he said the Sioux are aware of those penalty problems the Bison have had. The guys were told, don't back down, but don't swing back either. And it's against the Sioux.
It is a holding penalty against UND. Now, this is the second holding penalty of the day against the Sioux. Bison coaches have been saying all year long that the Sioux hold better than anybody in the league. Dana?
Something I think that the NDSU coaches tried to plant a seed in the minds of the officials, because it was mentioned a couple of times in stories this week that the Sioux offensive line is a great offensive line because, for one reason, they get away with holding. Holding is one thing, but when you get away with it, you're a great offensive lineman. And I think the Bison have talked to enough officials that they have made the officials look for the hold. They found it a couple times today.
Here comes a blitz.
And it's Burnell with a hole, cutting back. Up to the 37-yard line.
You know, he is such a great back. And I know the Bison have had some great backs in the past, like Doug Lloyd and Chad Stark and Tony Satter. Just some, but look how he makes the counter, gets the football, reads the blocking. Oh, I'll stop here. I'm going to cut back. And he reads that block, and he'll stop me and cut back again. He never gives you a good shot. 3, 4, 5 guys have got to bring him down. He is very much under control when he carries the football.
From the 36, we're tied at 21. Pass through the hands of Tim Jelinski, who has yet to make a catch today.
Coverage on the play by Pat Pringle.
Well, that, in a sense, is a purpose pass.
Bring up 4 down.
It's like the third time today they've hit that short hitch pass to the wide receiver. Sooner or later, he's going to hook and go.
Darcy Dollum in punt formation.
See Roger there having a word with Shannon Burnell. As Darcy Dollum will punt it with 8:48 in the third quarter. Dollum waits and gets the punt away. Pringle calling for a fair catch. Bounces into the end zone. Sioux had the people down there, but they couldn't do it. We'll be back.
It is a touchback. North Dakota takes over 1st and 10, their own 20-yard line.
At Nodak Mutual, we are dedicated to ensuring the needs of all North Dakotans. From the city to the country, we help nearly 27,000 North Dakotans with all their insurance needs.
From secretaries
To computer programmers.
to homemakers.
To business owners.
And yes, to farmers. We're a North Dakota company, fully committed to you and the future of North Dakota.
In Fargo, see Ron Glazer, Roger Peterson, and Sandy Weber.
You know, processing is important at 90-Minute Photo year-round, but during the Christmas season, it's very important to you, and that's why you want to take advantage of this special Christmas offer. Bring in your favorite picture or negative, and 90-Minute Photo can turn it into a beautiful Christmas card. With a minimum order of $25, you get 10 free.
And it's only $15.
Now, that's a pretty good deal at 90-Minute Photo.
90-Minute Photo. Picture perfect every time.
It's 21 apiece here. The Bison scored on their last possession, a 30-yard run on 4th down by Pete Erickson. They'll start out at the 20. Beachy gives to the first man, who doesn't get much as the Sioux surround him.
Big play by Ewan there, the linebacker filling that. Well, let's go back to that last series, Pat. What killed the Sioux was that holding penalty. They had a nice drive going there. And those penalties will kill you in a big game like this.
Just when we thought the Bison had blown it with that penalty, the Sioux get a holding call, and the ball is back in the hands of the Bison. Approaching the midway point of quarter number 3. 2nd and 8 at the 22. And again, Erickson has Tater chasing him. Nothing comes of that, but
the Sioux are demonstrating some excellent quickness at their outside linebacker position. When they, watch the left of your screen, when they come after the quarterback, that is a great play by Tater. When his guy blocks down, he's got to come down with him and still make the play on the ball. Arden probably should have pulled it that time and pitched it, but he really didn't have a chance because it was such a great reaction by the Sioux defense. Sioux have had some excellent linebacker play today. There you see one of them. Wandler. Ewan. I think those guys have played very well on the inside.
Now Beachy looking to throw. Has Cahill in the clear. And he is forced out of bounds by O'Gorman. Short of the first down. Wayne O'Gorman out of Devil's Lake. Rocky Hager having some words there on the far side. So 4th and short for the Bison. They've gone for it all the other times.
Well, you don't want to beat yourself either.
But not this time.
Yeah.
Tate Mosier, number 11, with his first punt. Flag already. Short kick. Feldheim will let it go. Comes to rest at the 42, but as we said, a flag thrown right off the snap.
I think it might be illegal motion against the Bison. It is. Bob Meslow, the official, making the call there, and I'm not sure if the Sioux are going to be content to take it at their own 42 or have Mosier kick it over. You know, the Bison do not have a great kicking game. In fact, it's mediocre at best. Dana, that looks like they're going to make him kick it over.
I think Roger Thomas just did a little second guessing on himself. The offense was halfway out in the field. He said, no, wait. And I think the offense came back, and now the special units going back on. They're going to make Tate Mosier kick it and kick it from his end zone. You know, the Bison have had some problems earlier this year with Steve Hansen, the long snapper. He rolled a couple back on some extra points, some field goals. Maybe they're hoping for something like that, and that would be a huge turnaround for this Sioux team.
Well, if the Sioux are ever going to go after a blocked punt, now's the time to do it, because even if he gets the thing off and they don't return it, they'll get the ball at midfield. And they got 10 guys on the line. They're coming after it. They are coming after it. Oh, they almost got it.
Mosier just gets it out of the reach of O'Gorman. And Tom Haggard catches it at the 47 of NDSU. 6:52 to go in the third. We shall return.
Guys, doesn't get any better than this.
Doug Patterson was wrong, because when the shark fin started playing, it got somewhat better. And when the Swedish bikini team came surfing by, it got a little better. And when a treasure chest of Old Milwaukee washed ashore, it most certainly got better. Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It just doesn't get any better than this.
Back to action here. 1st and 10 at the 46. Burnell turning the corner and hauled down by a couple of Bison across the 45 to the 43.
That's what the Bison defense really wants to do. They want to force Burnell to go to the sideline because he's so dangerous when he cuts back against the grain. They want to stretch him to the outside. You know, they've actually contained Burnell fairly well today. I mean, he's having a good game, but he's not really beaten the Bison repeatedly.
Well, he hasn't scored. It's funny, everybody else has done their share of the scoring load.
See, he lines up 7 yards deep, so he gets the ball deep and he can read where the pressure's coming. There's the counter tray. There's a nice hole.
And there's Burnell struggling a few yards shy of the first down.
I think that's the play we diagrammed in pregame, Pat. Maybe we can take a look at it again. You'll see both the left guard and the left tackle pull. That's the play. And they'll seal off Hartwig, the linebacker, Revere, the center, getting a piece of him. Hey, if you can get 4 or 5 yards every time you run that, you're in pretty good shape.
Mankato leading Augustana 21-14 in the third. South Dakota State ahead of Northern Colorado 17-13 late in the fourth. 3rd and 3 for the Sioux. Almley in motion. The handoff to Burnell. Strung along. He has the first down, possibly more. Out of bounds at the 20.
That was a great fake by Burnell. He gave 2 inside fakes and was able to bounce it. This is called the bounce play. Corey Wall, the quarterback, will come out and he'll get the football just off the tackle. Now he can cut it in there or he can take it out. For a defensive player on the outside and you got that much field to defend, that's just an extremely tough play to defend, especially when you got an offensive line that can drive off the ball, get a piece of the defensive lineman. That's a play where you don't have to dominate the line of scrimmage if you got a kid like Burnell.
Ball at the 17 with 5:08 left in the third. It's Ross Omley who has 1 touchdown today, the freshman from Mayport. Getting it up to the 15-yard line.
We talked about outside linebacker play in this ball game, and the play before that, the Sioux were able to win that war. I talked to Sam Neese, who's doing the radio network for the Bison at halftime. He's an old offensive line coach for the Bison back in the 70s when Jim Wacker was here. I asked him about the Sioux offensive line. He said Revere is a player.
Well, if Billy doesn't get all conference again this year, it'll be a crime. 15-yard line, 2nd and 8. 21-21 is our score. The Bison have never led. Here's Burnell with some room, straight ahead, inside the 10, down to about the 6-yard line.
Now that's the Redskin counter trey. This is what we drew up in the pregame show. Watch the 2 left guys, the left guard and the left tackle. They're pulling. They're kicking out the linebacker. He cuts it up into the hole. Look at him, back up. Look at on the left hand of your screen, how they seal back the pursuit. The Bison have no chance of stopping this play because not only do they get good contact at the point of the hole, but they seal off the pursuit. Gosh, has Tesh done a good job with this offensive line.
63 is Tim Everett, 73 Ron Johnson. 1st and goal at the 7 for the Sioux. It is Burnell once again, squeezing inside the 5, getting it down to about the 2-yard line. Shannon takes a licking, but he keeps on ticking.
You know, if you fellas have got that replay of that counter trey again, the outside linebacker, when you see those big offensive linemen coming at you, you know you're not going to beat them. What you got to do is stand there, don't get moved, and hopefully, now watch the guy on the right of your screen. You can't do anything. Back it up. You can't do anything. All you can do is just hold your ground and hopefully get you help over there.
From the 2, it's Burnell. Short of the goal line, tripped up. Sean Stewart, number 51, in on the stop, along with number 93, Jeff Hagman.
Well, what the Bison will do to try to beat that bounce play is they'll slant the defensive line one way or the other. They'll gamble, they'll pick a side.
Wall to Burnell. Burnell has room. He can get in. Yes, touchdown Burnell. It looked like the Bison had it stopped, but Burnell struggles in to give the Sioux a 27-21 lead.
Watch the tight end on the right side. That's a great block. Just tie him up and let your running back go to work on him. That's physical power football.
Eric Hagerly thought he had him. And with Darcy Dollum's point after, the Sioux have their 4th lead of the game at 28-21 with 3:08 to go. We'll be back.
When you hear the words guaranteed heating, what do you think of? We suggest that you think of your electric heating system, the fact it's guaranteed up to 15 years. And that means all parts and labor. You all right? Guaranteed heating, it's the parts and labor guaranteed. Only from your electric cooperative or municipal, members of the Minn Kota Power Systems.
Winter.
is coming. Get ready now during 4x4 month at your local Ford dealer with big savings on the best-selling Ford Explorer and the redesigned Aerostar, now with a driver's side airbag. Explorer and Aerostar are winter-ready with four-wheel drive traction, standard anti-lock brakes, and Ford's famous comfortable ride. Plus, get over $1,400 in savings. The 92 Ford Explorer and Aerostar. Winter is coming. See your local Northland Ford dealer now during 4x4 month.
The Anderson Frenchwood gliding patio door has long been admired for its classic beauty and performance. Now we proudly introduce another Anderson Frenchwood door. No other door of its type is as weather-tight, lock-tight, or energy-efficient. And it also does one thing the gliding door doesn't do. It swings. The Anderson Frenchwood hinged patio door.
Marco Sash and Door, your Anderson Window Retail Window Center, 210 North 11th Street.
We have seen Shannon Burnell with another 100-yard day, and we have seen Shannon Burnell finally score a touchdown to put the Sioux in the lead.
Well, the Bison kicking game has got a lot to be desired. I mean, the Bison have given up repeatedly 20 and 30 yards of field position today. Number one, they can't kick off. Secondly, their punting game's terrible, and plus they're going against the wind to punt it. You know, you just can't give a good football team half the field all the time.
A lot of time left, though. 3:08 to go in the third quarter. That'll be a short kick by Darcy Dahlem, coming down to Craig Guerin. Has some blocking. Guerin fumbles the ball. The Sioux will recover. Just when it looked as if the Bison had tremendous field position, they cough it up.
Dana, that's the third fumble in 3 games by Guerin.
He did it down at Northern Colorado in Greeley. He did it last weekend at Morningside, and now, for the first time, returning a kick, he has done it. Had some great moves. He was looking for something extra, got by one defender. Someone hit him from behind and jarred it loose, and that Sioux special unit team, great pursuit, hustling to the ball before it went out of bounds.
This may be the straw that broke the camel's back. This is the big play we talked about.
We didn't see who hit it. I think it might have been Jay Wadler, but Blaine O'Gorman recovers, and the Sioux have the ball at the 46. And Burnell is stopped immediately. Ryan Sweeney. The story of the game possibly right there, with NDSU committing 3 turnovers. The Sioux lose 4. As the Bison, for the moment, reversed the momentum that the Sioux had. These Sioux fans haven't had a lot to cheer about down here, not since 1979. UND has been very selective with the pass today. Roger wants to talk to the officials.
No, the officials want to talk to Roger and want to know about the last substitution that came in. Dana, what's going on down there?
Not sure. I'm just working my way over. As soon as I find out, I'll get right back to you guys.
Might be a bad headset on the Sioux sideline. They've got one headset down, so that means the Bison have got to take one of their headsets off. That's a conference rule. So Roger says, I'll take it off. He told us in practice yesterday he's just a hood ornament anyway. The assistant coaches do all the work.
Oh, those things never happen here.
Rocky says, fix it.
Solution is rectified.
Only in the Sioux Bison game.
Dana?
It's exactly what it is. It's one headset, and the officials said to the Sioux coaching staff, as soon as you get it back, you let me know, then we can turn over to North Dakota State and let them know. Heck, if I was the Sioux staff, I wouldn't let them know. No, it's still bad. Can't hear you. What's that?
Especially when you have the lead.
Here's John Waleski, the linebacker coach.
Well, I don't have to underscore the importance of this defensive series right here for the Bison. They coughed it up at midfield on a kickoff return. And this is a big series for the Bison defense.
That's Aaron Schramm of Carrington in motion. Wall steps out of the pocket. Now he'll have to keep it.
That's a pretty good 5-yard gain. Corey Wall looking for an interference call downfield.
Bring up 3rd and 10.
Burnell does a lot of things. There he is blocking. Run that back, fellas. That's a safety blitz on the outside by the Bison. And Burnell was smart enough to pick it up. Third and 10. Where's Rogers' 4-down territory? Corey Wall saying, come on, get me the play. Get me the play. The clock is down to 10 seconds, and they're not out of the huddle yet.
2 minutes on the third quarter clock. 5 seconds on the play clock. They get it off in time.
Blitz.
Walls passes batted down by Steve Marion.
Marion on the strong safety blitz, Pat, on the outside. And what happened that time is Burnell didn't come up and attack Marion, number 4, on the outside.
One of those cases now where the Sioux wonder maybe we should take a timeout.
Burnell, you got to go attack him. Go get him. Give your quarterback some room. Hey, boy, is that a defensive back being a defensive lineman getting his hands up? That's heads-up football right there.
So after NDSU fumbles the kickoff, the Bison force the Sioux to punt. Darcy Dollum, the Canadian kicker for the Sioux, gets it away, and Pat Pringle, it goes off Pringle, but he recovers. Oh, a Bison bounce there if ever there was one. Holy smokes. Pat Pringle from Grand Forks. We'll see it again.
No yards on the return for Pringle. 36-yard punt. There's no return.
Out of town, Northern Colorado has defeated South Dakota State 17-13, so
Joe Glenn's team will be in the playoffs, and they might even host next week, Pat. They put in a very competitive bid. Joe Glenn's done a great job out there. As soon as that South Dakota job opened up, they made sure he got a 5-year contract at Northern Colorado.
Bison start at their 10. They scored on a 90-yard drive earlier in the game. Arden Beachy looking for a hole, and he's thrown to the ground by Kohler. Loose ball. No signal yet. The Bison recovered.
Dana, do you sense down on the sideline that the Sioux just want it more? They're starting to take it up a notch.
They are taking it up a notch, and just moving back to that one play, if we had instant replay, if this was the NFL, I think that would have been a fumble. I don't think Arden Beachy was down on the ground when that ball popped loose.
Go back, fellas. I think you're right. Great play by the linebacker that time, Kohler, and the free safety is really nudging up there.
We'll check it later, perhaps. Middlestead back in the game there on that play. 2nd and 7. Beachy gets it off to Hansen, but Kohler wrapping him up again for the Sioux.
Well, I just said that. Kohler's having a great game of pursuing the football. They're not doing a good job of cutting the pursuit by the linebackers today. And that free safety is, well, he must have some deep help somewhere, or got those wideouts locked up man-to-man on the corner, because Brent Hansen is selling out into the alley. Number 11 right there.
Roger Thomas has never beaten the Bison. He has a 28-21 lead with 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 2. And it's Beachy for a first down. Brent Hansen takes him down up to the 29.
That's the play they scored the touchdown on to Erickson the last drive, and they do a nice job of reaching on the outside. Kohler, they block him pretty well. The only guy left for him is the free safety, and that's Feldheim taking the pitch man. Oh, this has got to be one of the all-time great Bison Sioux football games.
Undoubtedly. Don't turn away. 1 quarter to go. The Sioux 28, the Bison 21.
Hold me, hold Let me know that I'm the one for you.
It's the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
Never, never, never let me go.
Being the best, that means many different things to different people. But here at Selling Pontiac GMC, being the best means more than just selling you a car. It means exceptional customer service and attention to every detail. Being the best, yes, it means winning Pontiac's prestigious Masters Award and GMC Truck's 5-Star Award. But it also means when you're dealing with Selling Pontiac GMC, you're dealing with a dealership that works.
There is Shannon Burnell, the sophomore from Duluth, Minnesota, and right now his 2-yard touchdown run is the difference in a 28-21 Sioux lead.
Pretty good day at the office. The Sioux game plan is working.
Bison go to Mark Hansen. Carries for about 4.
All right, fellas, let's look ahead a little bit here. Let's say the Bison drive down the field here in the 4th quarter, a long time-consuming drive, maybe 6, 7, 8 minutes, and they score the touchdown. Dana, what do? Go for the tie or take the 2?
Well, you know what Rocky Hager says to his players, we don't play for ties here in Fargo, we play for the win. And I truly believe that Rocky Hager would go for a 2-point conversion instead of the extra point and a field goal, and the tie. For one thing, extra points are not guaranteed here at North Dakota State.
It is adventuresome, isn't it? Here's Beachy. Has a big hole. Beachy gets a block, but he doesn't break it all the way, but it's down to the 30 of North Dakota. They'll mark it at the 34. And this is where we see what the Bison are made of, trailing by 7 in the 4th.
This is a great block by Eric Ski, the tight end on the outside linebacker. They want Beachy to carry the football. They took the pitch man on that. I don't know why they want Arden Beachy to carry the football. He's been the most productive runner for the Bison all year long. If I had to say one thing that I think the Sioux have made a mistake today on, and that's letting Beachy carry the ball too much.
The 33 is where they mark it, and here is Mark Hansen plowing ahead. Well, spotted at about the 25.
Dana, I think we're seeing the Mark Hansen everybody thought they'd see all year long.
They finally took a conference title and playoff spot on the line for have these running backs running a bit harder. And I'll tell you what, Arden Beachy runs on my side of the football field. I see a gleam in this young man's eyes that I probably haven't seen since St. Cloud, which was probably his best game of the year. Arden Beachy has been gunning for this game. He told us he started thinking about this one about a month ago.
A lot of people have been thinking about this game. Beachy trying to throw, gets it off anyway. Erickson, Wadler, almost had a sack. He misses the tackle there. Erickson directing traffic. Look at him go. Finally, he's buried, but it's a loss of 4.
Bison were looking for the tight end in the middle that time, and the Sioux strong safety came up and guarded. Look at the right of your screen. There's a dive fake. Fell time 21 was not fooled at all. And there's Ski on the left of your screen. They did a nice job of taking away center field. Heads up play, but you know, this is just a major league ad lib right here. 11 men to the football. The Sioux win this battle.
A lot of running around, and it's 3rd and 7. Out of town, St. Cloud beat Morningside 28-14. Omaha defeated South Dakota 15-7. It's 28-21 right here with UND ahead of NDSU. Beachy cuts it back in the middle, and Kohler stops him cold.
Pat, that's the first time today the Sioux have stopped that wishbone formation, that inverted bone. They've scored touchdowns and gotten big gains off that formation, but that time they had the strong safety lined up on the line of scrimmage. Linebackers flowed very well, and Arden saw those defensive guys flying to the outside. He had no choice.
4th and 5 for the Bison. They will go for it with 11:55 on the game clock. Beachy with 3 receivers in trouble, gets a pass off, but Garrett is stopped.
I think he's got it.
Down. I think he's got it too.
On the tackle, number
Nice
21,
throw by Arden Beachy. Put it low and outside where the defender couldn't get to it. This is a straight drop back. The Bison have put this in their offense because they feel like they got to do it because of the transition into the dome in a few years. Just a 5-yard out. Pretty good coverage, but it was a well-thrown ball.
Jeff Feldheim on the coverage, and it is a first down at the 23. Bison have never led in the game. They trail this by 7 as Beachy carries ahead for about 5 yards.
Feldheim, the safety, came up and took the pitchman Erickson again. They are really forcing Arden to make plays today.
Beachy has 2 touchdowns for the Bison thus far. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 4.
You know, if the Bison do score here and go for 2 and get it, that really puts the psychological advantage, I think, to their favor.
The handoff to Erickson. Brent Hansen roars in to stop him. Couple of yards there. Now 3rd and short for NDSU. Hansen, number 11 there of Devils Lake, and Sean Hansen of Lisbon. They are not related. Somebody's getting dirty. That's Jay Wadler, even on the AstroTurf. Things can get messy. Beachy cuts it back in again. Does he have it? It appears so.
On the tackle, number 77.
Down to the 10.
And number 11, Brent Hansen. It's a
11-yard line.
Rocky Hager is saying to his offensive line,
1st and 10.
You got to win it. Roger Thomas is saying, you guys got to win it. I mean, this is a classic. I hope you fans out there are enjoying and appreciating what kind of football you're seeing here today.
And apparently the headset problems continue as Roger has yet to put the headset back on.
Rocky's got his on.
1st and 10 at the 11. Who knows? It'll be Beachy keeping, and Murtha and a host of other Sioux sweep in to stop him just across the 10.
Number 95, Jeff Murtha. Number 11, Brent Hansen on the tackle.
Brent Hansen again in on the stop. Hansen seeing a lot of duty today.
Well, there you see the outside linebacker, Murtha, the defensive lineman. You know, that actually is a pretty good play. He didn't let Eric Ski, the tight end, hook him that time. He stretched it out and waited for help.
2nd and 8 at the 9. Beachy trying to pick up a block, doesn't have it. Hansen again on the stop, and a flag down.
Might be a face mask, but again, the free safety Hansen came in and did a great job. Dana?
You're right, Edward. It was a face mask. Beachy got to the alley and was just about ready to get around number 11, Brent Hansen, one of the DBs. Hansen got him by the face mask, so he'll move it half the distance closer to the goal.
Penalties have really helped both teams today.
Now they'll go with their goal line defense, and Hansen will come out. He's not a starter. He's made a lot of big plays today, that sophomore out of Devils Lake. Joe Roller, you got to be proud of that kid.
They've had so many people. Mark Schmaltz, another one who comes to mind, who is not a starter but plays a lot. So it's 2nd and goal at the 3. The 2nd and 3 at the 3. Beachy will keep it, and Beachy is stopped by Jay Wadler.
Linebacker play has been just outstanding for the Sioux today. That's just a great play. There he is. Nobody gets Wandler. Ski doesn't get off of him off the double team and slip off and get him. Nobody takes him. That's one athlete against another athlete right there. Here they go with the inverted bone again.
3rd and 3 from the 4. They have to get to the 1 for the first down. 7:40 left in the game. That's Sanchez creeping away. Beachy will keep it, and Beachy is tackled. Craig Kohler and Pat Murtha combine on the stop.
Crunch time. Dana, does this remind you of Grand Valley when the Bison got down in tight on 4th down? This is Grand Valley all over again.
It's happened a couple times to the Bison this year, knocking on the door and not being able to get in. Rocky Hager can't make up his mind. He's going to call a timeout. Ludwig Milfors is standing right beside him. I think Rocky's hedging to a field goal, but really would rather come away with 7 points than 3.
Well, we've got 7 minutes remaining. Watch the left side of that defensive line. Ski can't get off on Murtha. Nice spin. Kohler comes up and forces the play. See, back up. He gets penetration. The linebacker there, him sticking his hand up, Kohler. He comes up the field. He comes up the field instead of sitting there and forces Hansen to take a tough angle to block. Arden's got to go around him and just throws him. That's just a fantastic defensive play right there.
The Bison have called timeout for a very big decision here with 7:12 remaining.
There's one for you.
They will go for it again.
Well, the way the Sioux offensive line has been able to churn up yards today, you don't know if the Bison are going to get back down here again. You can't afford to go for a field goal the way the Sioux have moved the football and taken time off the clock. You get in this tight, you got to go for it.
Possession has been such a key. The play of the game thus far right here.
Sioux on a timeout. Roger Thomas, he didn't get it.
Beachy running, pitching. Erickson is in for the touchdown, but there's a flag on the play.
Did you see Roger Thomas on the sideline yelling for a timeout? He didn't have the defense he wanted, but they didn't get it in time, and the Bison get the touchdown.
Let's see what the penalty is. Well, I saw a flag down. Obviously, it was an inadvertent flag.
Look at this.
Milford's in now as the line shifts. Bison trailed by 1 with 7:07 to go. I saw a flag down, but it was obviously a mistake. Bad snap. They get it through.
No good!
No, they don't get it through. Ludwig Milfors misses. The snap was not the best. And the Sioux lead it by 1.
Dana, you said earlier that it was no guarantee on the extra point.
40 seconds. 17 plays and only 90 yards.
I don't think you can hear me down there.
Look, there was a somewhat of a bad snap that time from Steve Hansen. Pete Erickson did a nice job of getting the ball up, but Ludwig Milfors just hooked a little bit. In fact, he hooked it pretty badly because he hooked it into the wind. If there was no wind at all, that would have missed even more to the left.
7:07 to go. The Sioux by 1. We'll be back.
Like everything else, our bank started as something new. Soon we began to secure ourselves in the community and its traditions. Over the years, we saw steady planned growth while maintaining those things that make us unique and interesting. Today, our roots run deep and will continue to grow because some things are simply meant to be here for the long run. The bank of your future is here today. We're First National Bank, North Dakota.
At Nodak Mutual, we are dedicated to ensuring the needs of all North Dakotans. From the city to the country, we help nearly 27,000 North Dakotans with all their insurance needs.
From secretaries
to computer programmers,
to homemakers,
to business owners,
And yes, to farmers. We're a North Dakota company, fully committed to you and the future of North Dakota.
In Fargo, see Scott Martin, Sandy Weber, and Dan Olmstead.
A missed extra point by Ludwig Milfers. Looming large for the Bison here with 7:07 left in the game.
Roger Thomas is going to turn to his offensive line now, Pat, and say, take time off the clock, you can win it.
An interesting position for the Sioux in Fargo. They have not won here since 1979.
Best kick of the day.
Jared Watson fields it. Watson brings it up across the 25. Was there a fumble? Not yet. So the Sioux will have it at the 27.
I don't know how you can keep either one of these teams out of the playoffs. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Not the way this game has gone. Corey Wall, the junior from Jamestown. Hands to Burnell.
That's Omley.
Omley, excuse me, up to the 28.
It doesn't, look good, but you got to do that. You can't make Burnell carry all the weight. The Bison have to respect the fullback dive. Roger Thomas is thinking, fellas, just move the chains and stay in bounds.
Now the pass tip, intended for Lancino. They say no interception. Tom Adams thought he had it.
Not a bad call. Nice fake. It holds the linebacker Hardwick. Tommy Adams couldn't hang on to the football. Listen to this crowd.
And if the Bison can hold here, who knows what could happen. 6:22 to go. 3rd and 7 at the 30. This is Burnell. Slipping away. Plowing up to the 35. Short of the first down.
Well, he got 4 extra yards on his own that time, and he read it really well. And Shannon Burnell said, Roger, let's go for it, he's saying. Come on, I can do that. Oh, this is a big decision by the Sioux to go ahead and punt this thing away. Dana, there didn't seem to be any questions about it as far as Roger Thomas was concerned on this decision.
Well, why go for it? You're beating the Bison. You're ahead in this football game. Let your defense get on the field. Kick the ball away. Maybe the Bison will fumble again. They've been a little vulnerable on punt coverage today. The Bison have not looked good in this area.
Roger Thomas playing the percentages.
And Darcy Dahlem feels the high snap. It'll come down and take a Sioux bounce out at the 32. 5:28 to go. 28-27 UND. We'll be right back with more.
Oh, is this?
Now there's a high-quality tax-free investment for North Dakotans only. The ND Tax-Free Fund, Inc. It offers you an opportunity to invest in a portfolio of top-quality North Dakota municipal bonds, and it's professionally managed right here in North Dakota. For more complete information, including charges and expenses, obtain a prospectus from your investment dealer. Read it carefully before you invest or send money. ND Capital, Inc., member NASD and SIPC.
Cook Sign Company has been putting up high-quality, eye-catching signs all over the tri-state area for a long time now. And they're proud of the fact that they can give your business the first-class look you deserve. Ask the guys at Cook Sign Company how an attractive sign can be one of your most effective advertising tools. Remember, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. Call Cook Sign Company and find out what a good sign can do for you. Cook Sign Company, Fargo and Bismarck.
You know, Pat, that last series that the Sioux had, I bet Roger Thomas is second-guessing himself. He had 1st and 10, and Shannon Burnell touched the ball only 1 time in 3 plays.
It's the first time, I believe, we've seen the Sioux go 1-2-3 kick today, as Mark Hansen carries for the Bison, who have had 2 90-yard drives in this game. We'll see what they do here with 5:15 to go. From the 36.
Bison have yet to hit a big pass play today.
It is Erickson struggling. Finally taken down by Craig Kohler. Number 53.
There's the zone. They're trying to run it back, but look at the Sioux linebacker. Stay home. Kohler, you are a dude. That was a great play by Kohler, not taking the play fake to the strong side, staying home and waiting for the cutback.
3rd and 4 at the 38. 4:16 on the clock. Bison down 1 as Beachy strings it along, cuts it back. He's close to the first down. We'll see where they mark the progress.
Well, I would imagine that Rocky would go for it if they don't have it here. I think he's got the first down. And the Bison aren't too happy with that spot on the far sideline there. Bob Meslow stops the clock with 4:07 to go.
Well, it appears that he has it, but they'll make sure.
Oh!
Well,
this is what it's all about. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Another 4th down opportunity for the Bison. Look at that, 5 out of 5. But the biggest 4th down conversion attempt coming up right here.
If the Sioux can hold them here, they can win it. This is the key 4th down conversion of the day. So far, anyway.
The Bison down by 1 point with 4:05 to go. NDSU has not led in this game. Beachy keeps it.
I don't know!
Big pile up. And we'll wait for everybody to unpile. And measure it once again.
Wandler, the linebacker, he was right up in there. There's no doubt this is the best linebacking crew I've seen the Sioux have in a long time.
Scott Gunderson as well, number 48. And they'll measure it one more time. We're down to 3:56 in the game. Yes.
Not by much. Half the length of the football. These people who are at the game today, they ought to pay on the way out, too.
The winner gets a share of the NCC title and a playoff spot.
Unbalanced line.
Here's Beachy faking the handoff, pitching to Erickson. Chasing him Perkins. Now Kohler forces him out after a 2-yard gain.
That's a great defensive play for the Sioux because it stops the clock.
With 3:27 to go.
Kohler and Wandler have been very active all day. I mean, these guys have really played a great game.
Kohler, a junior from Elk Mound, Wisconsin, near Eau Claire. 2nd and 9. Beachy wants to throw. Has Guerin, but it's in and out of his hands. Jeff Feltheim on the coverage.
Dana, I think one of the keys so far here today is where's T.R. McDonald?
They are holding down one of the most explosive receivers in the North Central Conference. T.R. McDonald doesn't catch many balls, but he catches a touchdown pass every 4 times he touches the ball. I mean, the guy isn't fast, he's not big, but somehow number 40 for North Dakota State gets open, and they have not been able to find him at all today.
Now it's 3rd down for the Bison with 3:20 showing on the game clock. Beachy again. Quick throw. Cahill complete. Close to the 1st down. Looks to be a little short. But what the heck? Just another 4th down chance for the Bison.
That's tough. You got a guy on the outside doing a hook pattern. You're rolling towards him, and you got to hit him. That's a tough throw and catch. Here we go. 4th down and 1.
And the clock moving at 2:48. Every fan standing up at Dakota Field. See if Beachy keeps it again. He's got it.
That's got to be a school record. 7 for 7 on 4th downs. And just in a huge game, and Rocky is saying, come on, get going. You know, the clock is starting to be an enemy here.
The Bison have not lost to the Sioux in their last 10 meetings. They have not lost a home NCC game since 1987. They trail by 1, and here is room for Raul Sanchez. Sanchez will score.
Raul Sanchez for a touchdown.
Absolutely incredible. Raul Sanchez. I don't know how many times Rocky Hager has been asked, how come Raul doesn't play more? Almost despondent looks on the faces of the Sioux fans, but it's not over. 2:08 remaining. A lot of football left.
The Bison will go for 2.
They have asked that the ball may move to the far left hash mark. 2-point extra point attempt.
46-yard touchdown run. This is just excellent execution. Arden Beachy down the line. They commit to the quarterback. The pitch to the outside. Great perimeter blocking. This is the one time the linebacking core of the Sioux didn't scrape and make the play. Let's go to Dana Mott.
Maybe there's one reason Raul doesn't play more. He scores too quickly. You know, there's 2 minutes left on the clock, and UND has got plenty of time. The fear in the look of the UND players' eyes as the Bison were driving down, I think they thought they might not get the ball back. Now with that long touchdown run, the quick hitter by Raul Sanchez, they've got 2 minutes to work with. And I think the Bison, well, the Bison defense will be tested. UND will come back. Corey Wall has led the Sioux from behind 3 times this year. Could this be number 4?
You know, this is a big conversion here for the Bison because a touchdown by the Sioux without a conversion wins it for UND. So this is a big conversion and a big decision by Rocky Hager. If you kick it and make it, at least you take some pressure off your football team.
It's 33-28, the Bison with their first lead and going for 2. And Beachy calls timeout again.
This is just a chess game. That's all this is. And I think Rocky knew right away and told Arden, go up there and see what defense they're in, and then we'll decide what we're going to call. We got some timeouts to burn here. That's what he's thinking.
That was the last Bison timeout.
You know, I've been saying all day long that they got to take Arden away and make the running backs beat you. That one particular touchdown run, they came after Arden, but the linebackers, they've done it so well all day long, they didn't scrape fast enough to make the play. The Bison, always known for excellent perimeter blocking. But now Roger Thomas is getting his offense together. He's saying, look, here's what we're going to do. We got a lot of time. We got some timeouts left. He's got his offense over there. Look at this.
This is what we said about home field advantage and coming from behind. And being tough on this field. The Bison have a chance to go ahead by 7 here. They send 2 men wide right. And it's Beachy looking, stretching in for 2.
Successful 2-point extra point follows a 46-yard touchdown run by number 24, Raul Van.
Now the Sioux have got to make 2 plays to win it. This is just a great athletic play by Arden Beachy. Kohler wraps up on him. He doesn't get any help. Arden Beachy. He may have just gotten player of the game honors with that play right there. But I'll reserve comment until the game is over, because you got 2:08 remaining, Pat.
No one is left. I'll promise you that.
Rocky Hager told us yesterday, he says the Sioux are a lot better, but they haven't stopped us in recent years. And the Sioux have given up 35 today. The Sioux are going to have the decision coming up here if they score a touchdown, whether to go for the win or the tie. I don't think a tie would hurt UND.
Well,
of course, you can't get on a conference call in 30 seconds and find out what everybody else is thinking. You got to make a decision.
If I had to guess, I would guess they would go for the win.
Well, they got to get the touchdown first.
Right. Ludwig Milfers to kick it off. Jared Watson is deep. And another relatively short kick, fielded at the 20 by Watson. Into the pile, up to the 32, 33-yard line. 32, they'll mark it.
Sioux have got all their timeouts left. They've got 3 timeouts remaining. How has their 2-minute offense been this year, Pat?
They have done some damage. Their 2-minute defense isn't bad either in that St. Cloud State game. But Wall has proven he can lead the team from behind. But now with the conference title and a playoff spot at stake, there's no holding back with 2:04 to go.
Blitz.
Incomplete for Schumacher.
The Bison brought the outside linebackers that time, expecting Shannon Burnell to get the football. Let's go to Dana.
This game resembles that Pittsburgh State semifinal game from last year so much. The only thing that separated this game from that one is it was an intercepted pass by NDSU late in the game that sealed the win. NDSU was hoping for the same. UND trying to march it right down and tie this game up.
Almley shifts in the backfield. 2nd and 10.
Blitz again.
It's Burnell with some room across to the 36.
The UND's got to call timeout or get to the ball quickly and run another play. They're going to get to the ball quickly and run another play. Lots of time left.
Bison lead 35-28. Wall wants to throw, waits, times it, who's got it? Incomplete. Tom Adams on the coverage of Tim Jelinski. 4th and 5. 1:26 to go.
Look at Tony Monty, number 42 on the right of your screen. He's coming with pressure on the outside. Tommy Adams knows that There's a sideline pattern coming, and he goes for the INT and just makes a great play. Now, UND, a ball control offense, has not been in this position today. They haven't had to go for it on 4th down. Now, I know the Sioux, when this game is over with, they're going to go back and say, why didn't we give it to Shannon Burnell with 7 minutes remaining and 3 offensive plays? He got it only once. And on the last 3 offensive plays of this series, he's only touched it once.
Roger Thomas and Corey Wall.
Leo Ringy and Rocky Hager are hooking up on the headsets over there, trying to decide whether they should go with the nickel package and the 40 defense, or Okie them straight up in a 5-2 and expect possibly a draw play to Burnell. This is not a bad situation to give the football to Burnell and say, fellas, get it done. The Sioux don't have to throw the football here. In fact, if I were a UND coach right now on the offensive side, I'd tell Corey Wall to call the play at the line of scrimmage, depending on what the defense is. Give them a couple options.
The Sioux season riding on this play. Complete. Tom Haggard on his way, perhaps. Haggard, it's a foot race. Haggard out of bounds at the 15, saving the touchdown, Eric Hagerly. 1:16 to go.
This may be the best football game I've ever seen. Corey Wall, if you ever made a big play in your life, you just did right there, buddy.
And Tom Hager, too, a sophomore from Wilmer who has done everything the Sioux have asked him to this year, playing a number of positions, putting the Sioux in position to tie or possibly win the game.
It really wasn't bad coverage by the Bison. That was a great throw and catch. He put that ball on the money on 4th down and 8. Now he's the player of the game.
Wall under pressure from Wash, dumps it out of bounds. Penalty,
roughing the passer. Either that or interference. No flag.
No flag.
No flag. They're waving it off. You know, that's a gutsy thing for a referee to do. Don't decide the game with 1:09 remaining. Dana, any inclination on the sideline of what he was thinking?
I'm not sure what he was thinking. There was a receiver right there, and just a smart play. That would have been gone down as a Fargo call if that would have been thrown as intentional grounding. A great call to pick it up and say no call at all.
Lots of time left.
And on 2nd down, it's Burnell. Trying to squeeze ahead, just gets a couple. Somebody threw the ball out of the pile, but no turnover. And a timeout.
Well, fellas, here we are. This thing is decided in the last minute. I mean, for a playoff spot, for a conference championship, last game of the year, it's decided in the last minute. What do you want? Here's the big pass play. Pretty good coverage by the Bison, but Wall just makes a great throw. Tommy Adams, I think he's probably thinking, geez, do I go for this interception or do I play him head up? What made the play was that the receiver made a great cut to the outside and didn't hesitate when he came out of his cut. That's discipline right there. And the free safety, Hagerly, saves the touchdown.
Now the Sioux look at a 3rd and 7 at the 12.
The counter trade to Shannon Burnell is not a bad call right here. Rogers got plenty of time to work with, 58 seconds. You can get at least 5 plays off in 58 seconds if you run the hurry-up offense. The key is what you call right now. You got 2 downs to work with to get a 1st down. Now, if it's down to like 15 seconds, then you got to throw the ball into the end zone and try to win it right now. The Sioux don't have to win it on 3rd down right here. And I really think Rogers thinking that.
Burnell has been the money man. We'll see what happens as Burnell is the lone setback. Two tight ends. Jelinski in motion. Wall wants to throw. Watson catches it short of the first down.
Corey Wall is playing with ice in his veins. He has put his last 3 passes right on the money.
Last time out for the Sioux.
Nice fake to Burnell. You got to respect it. Outside linebacker coming up the field to contain because Wall has burned him on a few scrambles today. That's a great catch.
Jared Watson of Sidney, Montana, playing his last regular season game at UND. And there's the time.
Roger Thomas. He's been on the offensive side of the football for most of his coaching career. And he is going to make this call.
No one has failed on 4th down today.
You know, this is the first Bison Sioux start for Arden Beachy, the first Bison Sioux start for Corey Wall. I don't think you could have asked for a better performance from either one of these quarterbacks. For a lot of quarterbacks, this game would have been over a minute ago back on their own 40-yard line.
It's 4th and 2 from the 8. And now this play holds the future to the Sioux season.
Gotta go to Burnell. Either fake to him and throw it or give it to him.
It's Burnell having some trouble. Spins away. Tries to get it to Wall. Now Wall has it. Out of bounds. The Bison stop the Sioux. The Bison will go on to the playoff.
Shannon Burnell, for a moment, looked like he wanted to throw the football.
It sure looked as though he was about to.
That was a strong side formation and a strong side run. Roger Thomas, that's not a bad call. UND has absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. And it's not over yet. You still got 33 seconds. You don't know what that snap's going to do.
Neither team has a timeout. Now Beachy will go down. Tater and Hansen exchange a shove or two, but
University of North Dakota is a playoff team. They deserve a shot at the second season. There's no question about it. This is a tough one to take for the Sioux, but give credit to the Bison defense. They had to come up big on one play late in the game, and they did just that.
The game is over. Bison 35, Sioux 28 in one of the all-time classics in this rivalry.
Roger Thomas and Rocky Hager exchanging some pretty heated words at midfield, and Dana Mock will find out what that's all about. I think after the Bison defense stopped the Sioux down inside the 10-yard line, there was some taunting going on by the Bison players, which is definitely a very classless thing to do, and Roger told the Bison players to go back to their side. I think that's what he's upset about. But Rocky Hager remains undefeated against the University of North Dakota in what has become one of the most unbelievable rivalries in all of college football. This is just a heartbreaker for the Sioux. A great senior class. Both teams deserve to win today. And Pat, you can't fault the final call by Roger Thomas. He took his best running back, went behind his best offensive lineman on 4th down. One team made a play, the other team didn't.
It just didn't work. The Sioux came close in 88. They come close in 91. Roger Thomas says he's not into moral victories, but certainly the Sioux program has come a long way with this game.
Let's
down
go
to Dana.
We got Arden Beachy down here. Arden, did you expect this much of a tussle from UND?
They got a good team, and they proved it today. They can move the ball, and they can play defense, and it was just two teams going at it. It was a lot of fun to be in.
How cool, calm, collected was this football team? On 4th down, you were 7 for 7.
We've done it most of the year. You know, our 4th down percentage conversion is pretty good, and when it comes down to that, you just got to make the plays, and I guess today we did it.
Never any panic on the Bison when UND would go right through that defense?
Not too much. You know, we're all in this together, and it's a team thing, and it's not over till it's over.
Arden Beachy, congratulations. Great game today. Ed, Pat, back to you.
Thank you, Dana. I don't know what else we can say.
Well, we can say this. We can say that Don Amiot at Mankato State and Bob Ensign at North Dakota State can do the Sioux justice and go to bat for them on the West Region Committee and get this football team in the playoffs. University of North Dakota deserves to be there. There's not, if any, difference between these two football teams, Pat. And this is a very strange scenario as opposed to what happened last year. I really didn't think the Sioux were a playoff team last year. This year, I think they are. And I don't know what's going to happen out west tonight with the other ball games that's going on around the country in Division II, but UND showed a lot of character today. One team's got to win, one team's got to lose. I think both of them deserve to get there.
We'll see what happens tomorrow morning at 11. We won't know until then, but here is the play that made the difference for the Bison. Go ahead.
The Bison, run that back, fellas. The guy who makes the play here for the Bison on the outside is Joe Toth, the 46, the outside linebacker. He doesn't get blocked. He gets up the field. See that? Back up. Watch how Burnell sees Toth, and that screws up his angle on which way he wants to go. He starts to panic, and now it's an ad-libber. You know, Joe Toth has gotten a lot of praise from the coaches all season long. He just made the play of his career right there. You can't fault the Sioux. You know, they rode the horse late in the game that got him here, and that's Shannon Burnell. Unfortunately for UND fans, he didn't make the play, and the offensive line just couldn't get off on the ball very well on that particular play, but you can second guess it. If there's going to be any second guessing going on, Pat, it's got to be with 7 minutes to go when it was a 3 down and out situation for the Sioux. They only gave the ball once to Burnell. You can do that all day long, but there's so many turning points and so many keys in this football game. I just think both of these teams deserve a shot to go on.
I know the Sioux think they probably deserve to be in there after this performance. It's been many, many years since they've even been competitive on this field. And to hold the Bison on the ropes until the last 2 minutes of the game, that's quite an accomplishment in this stadium.
I don't know how Roger Thomas is consoling his seniors right now. This is a real tough scenario for him. You know, if it's over with, fellas, you played yourself out with some tremendous pride, and I think they deserve a shot to go on, and I hope Dr. Ensign and Dr. Amiot go to bat for the Sioux. You know, as far as Rocky Hager is concerned, they trailed at halftime, and the Bison did not go to the home run ball. What they did is that they made their offensive line get the job done. Got to credit the Bison that last drive. That was a beautiful execution on that touchdown run by Raul Sanchez to put him up on top, and a big decision by Rocky to go for 2 and Arden to get it.
What more could you ask for? All the 4th down conversions, only one failed today, and that was bad news for the Sioux and good news for the Bison.
Dana Mock, your final thoughts.
Well, we talked about big game factor, and I think that may have just tipped the scale in favor of North Dakota State, having played in so many big games, and on 4th down, going 7 for 7, batting 1,000 on 4th down. You know, credit Rocky Hager and North Dakota State. The Sioux have a great football team, and I think they did prove today UND should be a playoff team. They lost twice this year. That is it. Of course, the Northern Colorado non-game hurt the University of North Dakota, but you can't tell me that University of North Dakota at 7-2 does not deserve to get into the Division II playoffs. I hope for some reason something works out for UND, Mankato losing or something like that, to get the UND Sioux into the playoffs. I think they deserve to be there. As for the Bison, maybe NDSU is just hitting stride, much like the '85 team that crossed their fingers and got onto the playoffs, then made a run at a national title. This team, really could have finished up 6-3 and stayed home for the playoffs, but now it is 7-2, and North Dakota State, after its last 2 games, seems to have hit stride a little bit. Raul Sanchez, play of the game. And there was only one guy running faster than the Sioux wide receiver running down the field. That was Roger Thomas. I think Roger Thomas thought that maybe this was the miracle year for the Sioux, the miracle game in beating North Dakota State. He was chasing that wide receiver Haggard all the way down the field, only to come up short for the Sioux. Too bad for the Sioux, great for the Bison, great for college football fans in North Dakota. What a game. Finally, we got our money's worth.
It's about time.
I think the fans, the advertisers, I think everybody got their money's worth today.
Yeah, and you wanted to see Florida State, Miami, forget it.
Pat, interesting thing here, Mankato State beat Augie today, and that's going to finish them up at 7-3. And, you know, they're going to be politicking hard to get in. Want to remind you that we'll cover on WDAY Radio tomorrow the playoff selection show starting at 11 o'clock when the NCAA makes its decision on who will be in the playoff field. I hope UND is there. I hope the Bison are there. And we'll sort it all out for you. Great job, fellas. What a day.
What a day indeed. Oh, we've used up every adjective. We've used every word. We have nothing else to say. These teams did it all. So, until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, we remain in suspense. For those of you watching on WDAZ, we'll have the Roger Thomas Show tomorrow night at 10:30. Will it be the last one? Who knows? And the Rocky Hager Show coming your way Friday night at 11 on WDAY and WDAZ. On behalf of our crew, on behalf of Dana Mock and Ed Schultz, Pat Sweeney from Dakota Field saying the final once again, NDSU 35, UND 28. Good afternoon.
From slabs for garbage cans to paved farmyards to tilt-up walls for buildings, concrete gives durability, good appearance, and long-time economy that no other building material can offer. Call your local FM Ready-Mix plant. They've got the experience, equipment, and staff to supply you with the quality concrete for a truly professional job, a standard you can depend on. Residential, commercial, rural. When it comes to concrete, FM Ready-Mix is all you need to know.
If you're about to make a deal on a new or used car or truck, break it. Gateway Chevrolet announces the Blitz. 600 vehicles, all with payments cut in half for a full year, like $18.92 Metro, just $67 a month, like $15.92 S10, just $72 a month, like $75.92 full-size truck from $109 a month, 250 used vehicles starting at $49 a month. That's right, $49 a month, plus $30.91 Corsica, just $94 a month. The Blitz, exclusively at Gateway Chevrolet in Fargo.
WDAY for Sisseton is Channel 12.
We now
Money
join
at Menards. By Gatorade, it's all you're thirsting for. And by Minnesota Blue Flame Gas Association and your local Bryant dealer.
Live from the St. Paul Civic Center, this is Tier 1 quarterfinal coverage of the 1992 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. Now, KMSP Sports Director Perry Williams.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Perry Williams, and welcome to the 1992 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. Yesterday, we had Day 1 and Tier 2 quarterfinals. Today is Day 2, and we have Tier 1 quarterfinals. And we're getting ready for all sorts of action this afternoon, and of course 2 games later on tap tonight. Our announcers are all rested at the St. Paul Civic Center. Now let's check in live and check in with Paul and Louie. Are we ready to go, gentlemen?
Thank you, Perry and Lou. As far as the first day activity in Tier 2 in the quarterfinals, what's your reaction
to the first 4 games?
Well, I think, Paul, we've come out with 4 teams that are going to give us 2 competitive games, and when you look at it, Greenway's still got to be the favorite, but I think Orono, the way they use their speed, they can be really a thorn in Greenway's side. Cambridge and Rosemount should be a real competitive game as well. I look forward to 2 exciting games tomorrow.
And of course, the level of enthusiasm goes up dramatically today, Lou, when you've got the quarterfinals in Tier 1.
That's right, and you got a team like Moorhead coming in somewhat of an unknown quantity, but at the same time, basically a dark horse from what many people say, and they've got 7 sophomores, 1 freshman. How is that going to affect them? Rochester Mayo has been here before. They've had a real good run after a slow start. I think it should make for a real good game if Rochester can contain that Moorhead speed.
And we'll have the play-by-play of that game coming up in just a couple of moments. Also joining us on the broadcast crew are Tom Reed and Doug McLeod, and let's go down to them right now.
In the penalty box, where else would we be?
I'm used to it.
I know Tom's used to it, and I enjoy it. Glad to have you with us. We'll be along for games 2 and 4 today as the sold-out Tier 1 quarters come along, and we'll start later this afternoon with the Blaine Bengals and the Apple Valley Eagles. Interesting matchup here, Tommy. Blaine has come on. It's been a big game team this year. They're undefeated in their last 10, and Apple Valley has played good, strong D.
Well, they certainly have. They're a good defensive hockey club, and Mark DiCenzo is the coach there. He's got a lot of experience, 9 years as head coach there. And his team doesn't score a lot of goals, but they've been able to win the big ones, and that's the important thing. They can win those big games when they have to, and that's what got them here in the state.
So that'll be our game later on this afternoon. Right now, let's go to Channel 9's tournament coverage headquarters here in the Civic Center. Jim Gilliland.
We're back here in the locker room area, Doug, where we're real close to the players and coaches, of course, and capturing a lot of the emotion in pre- and post-game interviews. And we'll have officials with schools and communities as well, and in State High School League people to keep us informed on the controversial issues involving Tiers 1 and Tiers 2 this year. It's the place to be, and I can tell you, the 2 tiers have done nothing to diminish from Tier 1 so far. These players really pumped up as we've watched them go back and forth for warm-ups, and then again as they just headed out of their locker rooms and onto the ice to get ready for the introduction of the starting lineups. Well, for those of you who have joined us in years past for Channel 9 tournament coverage know that we like to feature a student-athlete announcer to give us some special perspectives and insights into what it's like to be that age and be in the position of playing in a state tournament. And our special guest this week is Brian Bonin of White Bear Lake, one of the premier hockey players in the state, if not the top guy. And he's also an outstanding student and will be here to give us his insights into what's going on the ice. Brian's been a participant in the tournament. Brian, how do you look at this first afternoon session in Tier 1?
Well, we have an interesting story down here. Rochester Mayo is starting a freshman goalie. They started the year with a senior and then a junior, and they've wound up playing the freshman. They've won 14 games under him, and right now the coach had said that they're playing a lot better with this freshman goalie in net. On the other side, we have the Moorhead Spuds, a young team with speed and finesse, and I think we'll look for a great game out there today. Back upstairs.
And Lou, how do you see this first game?
Well, I think it's going to be whether Rochester's balance can contain Moorhead's speed. Rochester has 2 lines they feel are equal. They only go with 4 defensemen, and will those defensemen get worn down? Moorhead, will the young people have jitters or not? If they don't, it could be a tough afternoon for Mayo because Moorhead is very quick.
The opening face-off of the play-by-play action is coming up in a couple of moments. You're watching continuing coverage of the 1992 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Mr. Murray?
Yeah?
Mr. Murray, this is TCF. If you could change the way banks do business, what would you change?
Maybe make it easier for people to get a loan.
How would you do that?
Maybe let people apply by phone instead of coming in.
And how much do you need, Mr. Murray?
Jeez,
TCF, banking the way you want it.
Now, you can get more car for less money. The new All-American Achieva from Oldsmobile. Lease for only $199 a month with nothing down. The new Achieva has anti-lock brakes, air conditioning, automatic, power locks, stereo cassette, and much more for only $199 a month with nothing down. Now that's the power of intelligent engineering. See your new generation of Oldsmobile dealers today. We've got the edge.
You're watching an amazing piece of equipment coming off the assembly line. In test after test, the Bryant Plus 90i is rated the most energy-efficient gas furnace on the market today. paired with Bryant air conditioning that's equally energy stingy, makes for a home comfort system that leaves the competition cold when it comes to energy efficiency at an affordable price. And right now, there are special pre-season incentives to help make owning this top-rated combination even more affordable. Ask one of these Bryant dealers about them.
Imagine you're out camping and then your food runs out on you, and then your water runs out on you, and then your wife runs out on you, and then the lightning starts, and then the rain starts, and then your car won't start. So then you pull out your cellular phone, and then you call Mom, and she comes and takes you home. And then she gives you soup. Hello, Ma.
It's the Spartans against the Spuds in this quarterfinal game. And let's go down to the public address announcer and meet the players of both squads.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the show. And here are your lineups for the first quarterfinal game of the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. First, with a record of 17-7-1, let's meet the Rochester Mayo Spartans. Freshman goaltender #1, Brian Nelson. Sophomore goaltender #2, Kevin Truax. Senior defenseman #3, Josh Rohrbach. Sophomore defenseman #4, Jason Hicks. Senior center #6, Sean Tarpening. Junior wing #7, Eric Hammond. Senior wing #9, Chad Leckby. Sophomore wing #10, Brian Schell. Junior defenseman #11, Adam Patterson. Freshman center #9, Tony Grasso. Junior wing #14, Todd Vesey. Senior wing